Grab yourself a seat and keep those hands in the vehicle at all times. You're about to be taken on a ride through the untamed wilds of internet role-playing. Observe them in their natural habitat.
So you head out.
You know that would be funny! I didn't know there'd be consequences!
Enjoy the splendor of their spurgery.
Felix, who is the lion fauna,
And feast your eyes upon the questionable creations of internet randoms.
Actually, I've never DM'd before.
This is the Supernova Safari.
Hey everyone, and welcome to Supernova Safari. I'm Blake, a real bro, joined by Noah.
Noah, you feel the soul-crushing regret of committing towards rewatching and analyzing the show and all of its lack of content, underdeveloped characters, terrible system, and gameplay design. The cycle of continued self-harm for the briefest of moments of the brief entertainment it brings fills you with a dreadful understanding of yourself and who you are, bringing you to level 2. Control you!
Okay, and Ben?
Hey guys, watch an Adam Sandler movie instead of this shit.
And Liam.
Hey, we could come back to my intro later.
Glad to see I was overdressed this occasion.
Okay, we start with episode 7, Heist and Holidays.
House cleaning real quick. For all of you who are looking for regular uploads, I promise you there will be an episode going up of Records of Remnant this week after this episode, obviously at the normal time. We'll cover why it's been such a rough scheduling period for us then, so just thanks for sticking with us, and enjoy the rest of the show here. I say enjoy, but I don't really mean it, because...
Before I was rudely interrupted, I was getting to episode 7, Heist and Holidays. Taking a me day. Okay, someone else take it.
These titles suck.
Oh,
I didn't hear the exclamation mark in either of those, Blake.
No.
Heist and Holidays! Taking a me day.
I didn't hear it in the second one.
What? Fuck off.
Taking a me day.
How does that change it? You just put the emphasis on me. That doesn't...
Exactly, because it's a me day.
What?
It's for me.
Okay, well, how about you fucking start us off then by bringing up the first point to talk about with this fucking shit episode?
Well, fine, I will. Did anything eventful happen in the intro? I didn't take any notes.
Damn,
The recap sucks, like always.
Yeah, the recap sucked.
It was a Pike recap.
It was a Pike recap. Oh, God.
It was shitty. Nothing
awful.
eventful was mentioned. Basically, he breaks it down and says, alright, guys, you got 4 days to fuck about, and then on the 5th day, you gotta go to the state and do something. And it's like, oh, okay, Eddie.
Wait, hold on. I do have a question for Ben.
Okay.
Yeah.
So, I posed this question to Ben, and this is only for Ben, as he's the only one that's pertinent to it. Now, we're doing a versus battle in a comparison in all regards. On one side, we have the sailor, Sinbad al-Bahara, versus the Taskmaster. Which one?
Yeah.
Which one, Ben?
I'm gonna go with the Taskmaster because they're really cool. They're mysterious. I think Noah played his hand too much with Sinbad. and I think that Eddie's just better, frankly.
It's kind of fucked up. Like, he's way less mysterious because he talked to you, yeah.
I know, dude.
He didn't, present himself as a lawyer in front of us for no fucking reason.
I love shitting on the Taskmaster. It's just another one of those characters that you look at, you have to do a double take and be like, Eddie, you really wanted this character to be cooler than this. Why didn't you just put a little more elbow grease into making them have anything?
Oh my god.
I ran out of elbow grease at the store.
And then the Taskmaster sets us up for our big event, which is the estate sale going on in a few days.
Alright, so for our viewers' sake, what did the Taskmaster ask them to do at this estate? Definitely not for me, because I know. But,
okay.
For the viewers.
Well, if you needed a reminder from last week's episodes, the explicit job they're supposed to do for him is to recover a scroll from the place. Now, at the time, the Taskmaster never really specified what scroll or gave any info about where they could find it in the Pastel estate or what's on it. Obviously, you might not want to do that, but basically, they didn't really give any intel on where they could find it, and I don't think Eddie really gives them guff about that. He kind of directs them towards it easily enough, but I just find it hilarious that he basically at the time was like, I'm not committing to anything, and I never will. But that was their only job for the Taskmaster. He did, at the time, also just give them the info, by the way, for your own job. There's going to be a secret tunnel in there that gets back to the mountainside that doesn't have Team Smoke standing at the top of it. Which I find very ironic, considering the development that happens at the estate sale anyway. So there's basically literally no point to doing the secret tunnel route. We'll get to that later, though. Then they're released from holding, and as said before, they're said, like, okay, you have a couple days to prepare. And Eddie describes it as, we're going to be doing some montages of the next few days of preparation. What are your guys' thoughts on referring to it as a montage?
Wasn't really a montage as much as a bunch of schizophrenic scenes that had no value.
It's so stupid. It's so fucking stupid the way they laid this out. It's just so, like, one thing to do per day, just breaking it up into more, just do whatever you gotta do, and then we'll get to the fucking estate. Like, Pike just literally doesn't do anything most days. Like, the first day, Pike goes to sleep. Phoenix goes to the Takeos. Asher goes to talk to someone. A roster follows Asher like always.
The best detail I find of this is Carrie loudly proclaims that Pike is going to go take a me day and, like, just fall asleep. Then they start talking about something to do, and Carrie describes how Pike meekly decides that I'm actually going to follow them because I need to go to the store also to buy some nuts.
Okay.
He just immediately changes his story because I think there was an edit, and Eddie told him, you're a fucking idiot, Carrie.
It looked like there was an edit. Can I please just say what happens at the shop?
Please, sure, go for it.
Okay.
You got it, man.
I'm gonna cut you off right there. So at the Takeo shop.
Oh, nice. This is accurate to the experience. Go.
It's true.
Liam.
It's true.
Alright, you see the door to the Takeo shop.
Fucking interrupt
me. Back at the
bus
store.
Back at the store.
What? Oh my fucking Jesus Christ!
Blake, we're doing the Grimm campaign, right? Back at the store.
Yeah, at the store. It's really cool because fucking the first thing we hear is that Taupe is at the front, waving to them happily, trying to greet them. So Rostra literally ignores him coldly and walks in. She fucking says that she just ignores him and walks in there, trying very hard to not, like, even look at him. What the fuck, Rostra? Are you actually a psycho?
Why is she such an unlikable cunt?
What? Like,
the character.
Ben, can you explain to me why Rostra continuously is such a bitch?
I have to say that I can't because I think you hate Arashtra the most.
Wow, nice, Ben. Ben gets the ball handed to him and looks at it and goes, I don't know what to do with this.
Okay, Ben.
What?
Ben,
listen. You find satisfaction in it. Every time Arashtra does something stupid, I go, wow, fucking awesome. I fucking despise your character. You do nothing, and all you do is suck. You know what? I'll back up a little bit.
I'll back up. A gentleman doesn't swear.
A gentleman wouldn't say that. Let's just say Arashtra loves being near Asher because Asher's the actual character who does stuff. Besides Phoenix, who occasionally does stuff.
What is Asher going to do? Probably something related to plot. What is the roster going to do? Wait for Asher to say something so she can agree with that.
Literally.
She's going to roll for the same thing Asher rolled for, except succeed because dice are dumb.
And then comment.
Oh, yeah. Can I say?
Yeah, go
Come on. This is 5th edition to a T. Even with the -1, I rolled an 18. Cut to Chad. I have a +4 and I rolled a 7. literally 5th edition.
I fucking love how rolls don't even fucking matter. You know why? Because someone can roll something, fail, and then Eddie will pause for a moment and go like, okay, that doesn't work, but you kind of feel like you can maybe research it, so roll me this. So, like, you can roll and fail, but if Eddie wants you to have certain information to progress the plot, he'll just ask you to roll something else.
Yeah, there's a lot of...
Like, why the fuck do they even roll?
There's so much of that. I have
Does the book fucking catch on fire if I don't roll well enough? Like, what the fuck, Eddie? Just don't roll!
Eddie is on some bullshit these 2 episodes. He makes them roll for everything!
It's literally
everything.
It's literally on the tier of you're walking across the room, give me a balance roll.
What was that?
He doesn't do that, but he gets close.
Fucking nonsense. Sorry, what were you saying?
No, Liam, go ahead.
He's making them roll fucking nonsense. Like, he wanted to find a different dust shop because, you know, they robbed the other one and the guy was mad at him. Understandably, he'd try and find another one. So he was like, roll me survival. Eddie, what the fuck do you mean roll me survival? This is a city, right?
That one got me. Eddie assumes, like, survival is, like, directions.
I'm surviving on the streets. It's the streets
direction in a forest, in nature.
Yeah,
a fucking desert or a forest, not a city.
It should really be something like perception
or
investigation.
I know that streetwise, it should be perception or maybe
Liam,
persuasion
or
something.
Liam, some say the streets of Kushinachi are worse than any forest.
Forest. That's why they're called the hedges, bro.
Yeah, gamer, yeah.
Here's what it should really be. Thank you, Blake. It should really depend on how the person approaches it, and then they should question if there's a way they could approach it towards their stat that is good. But because everyone in this game hears stat roll and assumes they're like locked in, like a league game has started, they can't change their action or ask like about the qualities of their role affecting it, or being like, well, if I tried this, like, is it gonna like fuck me up? Like, there's a discussion later we'll get to in the break-in part that is all about this.
No, okay, this is a question for Liam and Noah. This is a bit off topic. So, of our 4 characters here, which role in League of Legends are they?
I don't like this question.
Alright, so my boy Phoenix Nemian is the top player.
Obvious.
Asher is the mid laner.
Okay.
Pike is the support, and Arastra is the AD carry.
I was gonna say Pike's the jungler because he's
I'd say
bad
Pike's
and does
the
random
jungler.
things. Yeah, Liam and I are on the same mindset because I'm picturing Liam and Pike as the same person.
Hey man,
they
come
both
on.
have rosy
Not
cheeks.
like this.
They both have rosy cheeks and feed.
Arastra is the AD carry because she's the biggest bitch around.
Oof.
Oof. I would have said, Asher's the AD carry because he's the one who's supposed to win the game slowly over time.
Oh, that has been true for seasons.
But Arastra's the support because she follows him around all the time.
She's specifically Yumi.
Awesome. That's some gamer shit for
I'm
smiling, but I feel...
She is a cat!
I feel Ben loading a
She's
gun
more like
right
base
now.
Karthus.
But I wanted to bring this up, just a little back on topic, about these skill checks, because they are very prevalent this session. This is obviously a very beginner DM mistake, assuming that if I'm not in combat and they're just doing things, I have to overload it with skill rolls to feel like the game's happening.
Whoa, no. Can you roll me persuasion to make your point?
Thanks, dude. I really appreciate it. Now,
actually, can you roll acrobatics to explain your point, actually?
Awesome, guys. Thank you.
Dude,
No, please.
Let him talk!
No, please. Keep saying the joke. It makes me feel like a Grimm Campaign. Now, before I finish
okay,
my
you're
point,
right.
let's cut to someone else's point.
Ben, can you please explain to us what Phoenix is doing at the takeout stand?
Okay, so he's eating
Yeah, you fail.
taco. Dude, he's eating tacos, and then Eddie's like rubbing his hands together. You can't see it, but I assume he is.
Oh,
And
no.
he's like, what if the guy they didn't save from the car accident, or the plane accident, what if he was still alive? And he walks out in like a full body cast, basically. And he's like, hey man, and he does like the stupid surfer voice. And, you know, I'll give Kokonos his credit. He's like he's on camera pantomiming he's eating tacos. I'm like, okay, put on a little show here. You're at least trying more than Arastra is. And then and you can see on his face, he's like, Eddie, I really don't want to talk to the guy that we didn't save. That's like kind of bad on our part, right? I guess it's cool he's not dead.
Wow, base then, because Eddie does what he does every fucking time, which is since he's scared to death that players won't fucking ask the right questions, he skips over the conversation and explains out of character what the fuck he's trying to say. Eddie, why the fuck do you always just do this? It's literally, viewers, I'll do this for you. Yeah, Lee. Okay, so what they say is just like, maybe you can find some stuff over there, and they explain to you in a very humorous way that some people are going to be on the lookout, 3 days from now at the manor. That's it.
That's it. And not only do they, oh, sorry, go ahead.
No, I was about to say, he did the same fucking thing in the dust shop with fucking, the kid.
Taupe becomes
and it's really fucking funny because he's like, "Oh, you guys see Taupe? You guys want to say anything?" Roster ignores him, and then Asher is like, "Oh yeah, I want to talk to him. I want to. What are you? Anyone asking about us?" And it's like, role playing is cringe. He tells you something. He says some people have been asking about you, and there's security guards looking for extra security guards to work the estate. And it's just like, Eddie, you asked him if you wanted to talk to him. What the fuck?
Yeah, it really stands out on those occasions because, like, clearly, I think even Laura is, like, attempting to interface with these NPCs most of the time by actually starting a dialogue, and it always comes back to Eddie cutting them off. Like,
he does it. But I mean, he does it every fucking time. Eddie literally always cuts them off, and it's insane.
He really is nervous about this sort of stuff. And that detail about Tums, I find, is very funny. Because Tums serves two roles here. One, he becomes another one of these NPCs that, without prompting, explains the use that they'll have for the players in the next scenario that's coming up. Giving the players basically zero, like, personal feeling of achieving a basic thing. In a linear section like this, once again, I don't think linearity's bad, but if you aren't even allowing the players to feel like they are creating their own path towards the objective by asking, like, relatively simple questions of, like, hey, what are you doing? And then they go, oh shit, he's actually working here, I should get in with him. Instead, Eddie is just like, he's doing truck deliveries, you want to work with him so you can get in there? Yeah, okay, you are. It's like, oh, wow, you have no faith these guys will actually discover this stuff, and fair's fair, I guess.
It is so disheartening, because this setup is really good. It's like, you have 5 days to, prep for what is essentially a heist. That's fun. Players get engaged, they understand what's needed for a heist, You go find blueprints, you get a layout of the map, maybe you scope it out a day before, you go in yourself if you're allowed.
And he has a ton of characters.
On payrolls, you different roles. It's fun. Everyone's seen fucking, Ocean's 11.
Everyone loves these heist movies. It's a really cool mission idea. It's really fun. And that he has used the last sessions, for better or worse, to establish characters here, and so they have a roster of characters they can go approach for info. And I'm just thinking to myself, like Liam's saying, like, it's really disheartening, kind of. Maybe this is just how it looks in editing, because this is the pinnacle of schizophrenic episodes. In case you couldn't get our jokes earlier before of cutting each other off to go to other points, the entirety of this session, and the next one too, will be these weird vignettes of, like, fucking going towards a person saying something and cutting so suddenly to the point where it feels counterproductive, because it makes it impossible to really follow along without feeling like we're stumbling through the episode. Yeah. And on the last point, I want to ask you guys if you feel more disgusted that Eddie brought back Tums to be just like a useful character towards them in this one point, or is that the worst part, or is the worst part that he got brought back at all, thus erasing a black smudge on these characters' histories of where they all fucked up at one point? Because I have some strong feelings on this subject.
I think that he only brought it back because he wanted to make the players feel bad. I don't trust Eddie to do anything besides that. Yeah, I think he wants to rub their. I think he wants to rub their nose in it. 100%.
I agree with Ben.
100%.
Really? That's interesting.
I mean, rewatch the fucking scene. It's literally him. Look at his face when he sees that Chris is like, "Oh no, it's Tom. We died. We didn't say." He's like, "So funny." Remember the time you guys just didn't save someone?
He's literally like it's the fucking guy with the fucking cast from SpongeBob whose bones are made of glass. I guess literally he rolls out on the screen. He's like, "Oh, look what you guys did."
See, I really came away with a different impression because.
Not to mention,
go ahead. Yeah.
I have to say, I will give Eddie this. He does tie it into. Oh, I do. He's like, "Oh, I do deliver some mansion." That's nice. That's fine.
Oh.
I like that.
I have to bitch about this actually.
However, no, but I think I might be about to say what you're about to say. I will say, I do think that while that is cool meta-wise, because it makes this have a point, I do think out of meta, it's like, wait, he's like a delivery guy now? He's like in a fucking... he has like several casts.
He literally brings us up.
He admits that he's like, oh, it's really hard to do because of all the casts.
Ha, funny.
And then first of all, you're telling me, he says, "Oh, I lost my job because I lost my plane. So now I'm a fucking cargo driver."
Is he like a fucking Uber? Like,
Literally, he is an Uber.
That's like if the guy who landed the plane in the Hudson River became an Amazon delivery driver.
And
back to being a pilot.
And that plane was his personal property. Like, this is implying that was Tom's bullhead. Tom acquired his personal airship.
It doesn't make any fucking sense at all.
And it's like, is the implication that the injuries prevent piloting, but somehow not driving a truck?
Obviously.
Like, I don't know, man. That's gotta be very specific. Was it to his fucking cornea? Like, what is it?
Okay, I also... But this whole thing with Tom's is just so... It's so lazy, because it's just like Eddie wanted to make them feel bad. But then, like, then beyond that, Tom's actually being here is literally just to be like, "Hey man, I like, here, Phoenix, I'll give you something to do for the next section."
Now, I really have to say, guys, that I'm shocked you all came away with the opposite of what I have. I think Tums is here to remove a smudge and make them feel less bad about it, because Tums has... Like, you guys are thinking this is like a meta, like, haha, fuck you guys for what you did. But, like, Tums is only, like, friendly and helpful. He is literally in the heist later shown helping Phoenix sneak into a passageway. Like, Tums comes back as, like, their pal and is like, dude, you guys were cool. Like, to me, this is read as a complete... like, bastardization, trying to clean up and make them not seem like sociopaths for not trying to save Tums.
They're still sociopaths, though, because they didn't try to save Tums.
But
he's better than that. It's not like they're omnipotent.
But in game, Tums is erasing any guilt they can feel by acting like he doesn't even give a shit. If Tums came back, was still, like, affable, but was like, you know, I kind of fucking... Why didn't you guys help me? Even if he did it, like, kind of dumbly and accepted it afterwards and wasn't holding a grudge, like, the fact that Tums basically doesn't seem to care at all what happens makes it feel like, to me, it's trying to give them an out for this situation. Which I want to point out, because if Eddie wants to make them feel bad, there's an NPC we'll cover later at with Pike, Daff, that Eddie really tries to twist the knife with. And is an amazing... cavalcade of like ridiculousness, but I find it overall he's trying to make sure the team, they don't have a name yet, doesn't seem like complete psychopaths because they didn't get someone killed, or, you know, the real answer is Eddie found it funny just because of the voice, just like how he does anything because he finds something superficial funny.
Okay. In the spirit of what we're doing, I'm going to completely cut away to something different.
Please.
Phoenix, the next day, I was so fucking angry at Eddie for this. And this is, like we said, folks, Eddie will never bring up Phoenix's, like, White Fang stuff. And Phoenix was looking for it again today. Going back there specifically to talk to Fauna since he's in the area about the White Fang.
Graffiti.
I fucking missed that because he said it and then it got ignored.
He went back to the fucking graffiti.
No, he goes back there. He talks to some fauna. So you know what they say? Yeah, we're working like as waiters and stuff at like the auction going on. Well, like if we hear like Fang stuff, using with a cool bro, so we'll like bro out and tell you things. But like we're going to the auction, so we can help you with the auction. We don't give a fuck about your backstory. What about the auction?
Now, Blake, and the more impressive part, adding to your point here, is Chris says, I'm going to the graffiti. Phoenix is going to the graffiti. He does not say a single other thing. Eddie goes, you show up there, you find these guys, they describe what's happening, they tell you that they will become your contacts here and tell you about the White Fang, because you're such a bro to them, but for now they'll be working at the auction, and Chris doesn't say a single thing. Eddie decides that he walks up to these faunas, talks with them, find out this, get this information, blah, blah, blah. Makes friends with them, apparently, and scene over. It is literally the most bewildering thing ever.
That's like if I literally did not say a single word to the fucking constable last
I just
session, and you just said that we were friends when I said I was going to walk up to him.
It is going so far beyond our usual complaints of describing like how your actions go in combat to like a parody degree.
Yeah, it's ridiculous.
Yes. Speaking of ridiculous, cut another Grimm Campaign smash cut. Pike goes to Opal's. What happens, bro? Someone pick it up.
He went to the bar while
Liam, let Ben pick it up. He hasn't said much.
What the fuck?
If you want me to.
Hey, Ben, I'll tell this guy to fuck off for you. Fuck off, Blake.
No, Oh, you want it? Dude, you love Pike. I like it.
Don't worry, Ben. You can have the Takaya visit.
Yeah, okay, yeah, you're right, Ben. You can have Takaya.
Oh, my fucking God, I don't want that.
Alright, so the bar is closed and Carrie goes and he's like, oh, I gotta get in. He knocks on the door and nothing happens, and then he's like, oh, well, I'm gonna knock on the door with a knock that sounds like a secret knock.
With his semblance.
Just with his semblance. And he rolls a 9 or whatever, which is a 20 with his semblance.
It's epic.
So he randomly knocks on the door and it opens, and Opal's like, how'd you know that knock?
I just guessed!
And then he's like, can I have a purple grape soda? Whatever the fuck it's called.
People love grape soda.
Can I have a purple, people like grape soda? And she's like, yeah.
And she's like, what's that that ever die?
The scene ends. And then everyone's left in shock at what the fuck happened.
I'm sorry, Liam. I have to cut in like Eddie here. Because there is some amazing little details in this scene that have completely confused me on what's going on. Pike, once again, tries to go for the joke where he's like, okay, so what happened to Asher? Which I still don't understand, because I think we without... I guess he wants more details than he got thrown out of the bar for stealing something, but he pretends like he knows nothing. And I believe he does a roll for this or not, but but Opal, in meta, of course, because there's no characters talking, responds to him by telling him it's a bit too early for that, and in I quote, a flirty way. What the fuck does Eddie mean by that? What is this?
Well, see, Opal's a very mature woman that really likes the autistic type.
Where is this character coming from? Is Opal like...
It's really weird.
Is Opal also like a flirtatious, confident... She seemed like a no-nonsense, har, people die, like whatever, get the fuck out of my bar if you make trouble, I'll be a host for now. I like young huntsmen still a little bit if they earn my respect.
You know what? I need to say something about this.
I also do, but go ahead.
Because there is... I'm sorry I forget. But I think Eddie keeps misusing the word flirty. He does this again. He does this with Asher. I don't remember in what context.
I haven't noted down. Don't worry. Oh no! Guess what? It's also to Pike.
Is it?
Yes.
I thought there was someone. Okay, whatever. He keeps using the word flirty when he means playful. It's really weird.
Yes.
Oh, I remember. I just remembered what it is.
Yeah.
It's in the next episode. We'll get to it.
It's actually in the same episode.
Is
Weirdly
it?
enough. Yes, I think this was on his brain today. That he's like, how do I portray these women as like confident and but affable and kind of flighty in this way? Like, ooh, like they seem untouchable in this way, where they're confident and controlling
That's
things.
so
It's just like
cringe.
And instead of, because he can't really like role play well, he can't do a voice without. Well, I mean, he can't do the voice in meta because he refuses to talk in character. He's just like flirty. And so now, forever canonized, Opal is also, preying on the younger men. So keeping that in mind for the future, bros. Very cool. What was your point, Liam?
Can I just say, when he said he was going to Opals, I'm like, oh, that's... Because I forgot, I don't remember what the fuck happened in this episode. I was like, oh, wait, is this going to be chased? Is he going to go to Opal and be like, see, I made it a couple days. See, I'm still in town. From like episode fucking 4 or whatever, 3.
Yeah.
I was like, oh, cool. And then he didn't do that. I was like, oh, okay.
Well, she
And then
basically
nothing
tells
happened.
him, well, that's kind of what he does. He's like, can you tell me now? And she's like, not yet.
Based.
Eddie it says, nah. I mean, you're right. He's right. He's survived a little bit. But nope, not yet, buddy.
Come back later.
Yeah, and then there's like some more info that's just thrown out in this scene. That the Pastel estate sale is not only for items in the mansion, apparently, which I don't really understand how that part was relevant. And she talks about how the Wave is kind of like really not making any moves because the Hana got their new leader. Or no, wait, is it the Hana that gets a new leader or is it the Wave? Fuck, guys. I don't know.
They
But
didn't do
it's the
anything
first.
in either of the episodes. Who cares?
It's the first mention, though, of Lemon, and that's important.
I
Right.
wrote this down. Lemon is the leader of the Wave. Vermilion is the leader of the Hana.
Right. Okay. God damn it, Vermilion. I have so much to say. Okay, yeah. So Lemon is going under since she's the new Wave leader and just being really weirdly quiet. And that Carrie or Pike makes contact with Opal's barkeep Cram, who will be helping at the estate. Because everywhere they go, the quantum ogre of this estate will find them. Which I would say is a good thing when it doesn't feel like the players are... I said this already, so I don't want to repeat myself too much. When it doesn't really even feel like the players are directly investigating about it, the fact that they keep arriving in front of them just makes these guys look like they're the luckiest motherfuckers alive. That they will trip dick first into a fucking contact that... for no reason is like, yo, dude, don't worry. I'll help you fucking I'll fucking sneak into a manor and do unknown things that may compromise my job if I was caught involved in it.
Oh, God. Fucking speaking of tripping into allies, Ben, do you want to start talking about Takaya?
Takaya. You have to remind me, what is the school that he's in charge of? I know it's not Haven, but it's like a combat school, right?
It is a primary combat school.
It doesn't have a name?
It has no name.
You're kidding.
No name.
Okay. So, basically, I think I guess headmaster of this combat school is a little concerned because one of his child charges is being harassed by 4 grown people. Especially... kind of suspect Pike, kind of getting a little obsessive with toys. It's a little weird. I think I would come talking to him too.
Yeah.
And he goes up to, I think he talks to Asher, right?
Okay, so Asher and his parrot come in.
And the parrot, right.
Yeah, and the parrot come in here. Takaya has... This has been repeatedly said to them before that Takaya's just like interested in talking to them. Like Eddie wanted this to happen like probably before the last thing happened, where they're like, "Oh, I hear there are huntsmen doing things in town," and so they're finally showing up to this character that, headmaster of like a primary combat school. It may not be like a main school, but it still seems like an interesting character and probably relevant, right? But continue, Ben. Sorry.
He talks to them about something I don't remember. I'm not gonna lie.
Awesome.
I'll be honest, I don't know what the fuck you guys are talking about. I must have missed this fucking scene. None of this shit's in my notes.
I remember
I
Takai,
made really detailed notes. I don't remember them talking to Takai at all.
The one thing I do remember him saying, though, is when he's like, yes,
Did he have a voice?
No, I can't call him.
Did he speak in character once?
He did
he
speak in
introduce his character for the first time in Meta
He did
Talk?
speak in character, but he has... Go ahead, Ben. What's the one thing you remember?
I remember him being like, yes, the little boy, he is my good little boy, and he has a good eye for people, and now I trust you.
Yes, so, Arastra and Pike, or, Arastra and Ash, I should say, sorry, like, burst into their office, and are like, you fucking heard you were looking for us, because they come in antagonistic sounding immediately. Because it's Asher and Arastra. And it's described that Takaya is one, not described in detail at all. So he is literally like the mysterious stranger. There's no detail on him. But the only thing we know about him is he has a weapon that looks like a staff, apparently. Because the first time they enter, he looks at his staff nervously for a second and then decides, okay, I probably don't need to kill these people. And this is the equivalent of how Takaya, the headmaster of this primary school, introduced himself. Hello, I'm Takaya of the Kuchinashi Combat School. Yes, I've heard about you from Taupe. Huh, that's very interesting. Let me address this. I will help you as much as I can defeat the crime syndicates. I don't know the legality of offering Taupe a graduation to Huntsman. Huh, I actually said deputized Huntsman, junior Huntsman. Asher mumbles to himself. Takaya goes, yes, alright. Takaya is probably the character introduced with the least amount of characterization, and that's fucking impressive, because I think Eddie I told him my guy would be like a joke, and because Eddie can't characterize anything that isn't a joke, he just didn't know what to do, so he just drops the ball completely. Awesome.
Yeah, I literally don't remember this. I watched this 2 hours ago. I literally don't remember this. Did they cut off this? No. Was this a one and done?
It was. They literally walk up. He goes,
that must be why. Apparently I can only see things that got interrupted.
They literally go to him and he just goes, yes, I'm an ally. I will help you. And then that's it.
This is one of the longer scenes. Okay.
Really?
Oh, yeah. Sorry. No, not this one. We're talking about the next one, Pike. I just wanted to say, at one point, I believe this is when Phoenix is looking for White Fang or Faunus people. It's described that although this is Mistral, Kuchinashi's a bit of a hodgepodge and is different. So there's actually a large Faunus population. So there's not a huge Faunus discrimination thing in the city. Fucking amazing. I don't know if there's a mandate about this at Rooster Teeth that you can't show off Faunus discrimination in any believable or like interesting or like actually sad way in the world of Remnant on screen, or you can only refer to it existing vaguely and never prove it. Like, literally, at the party we will go to of these high society types is described as, there's still a ton of Faunus here. What the fuck? They talk about, in these episodes, they refer to, like, Mistral's pretty bad with Faunus, but here it's different. What? You are fucking bitches. You cannot... This just will go back to the continued complaint of RWBY of, why is so much time devoted to racism when there's nothing to show of any relationship between the races outside of allusions to them off screen? Fucking embarrassing.
No Faunus allowed.
Fucking embarrassing. No Faunus allowed. No Faunus allowed. No Faunus allowed. Blake, get into it.
I was actually going to hand off to Ben to describe to us our boy Pike going to the hospital.
Awesome.
Oh, this scene is, again, like we've said for a couple episodes now, Pike is a psychopath, and this is another notch against him. He literally goes in to find what the fuck is his name? Holy shit! I just have it on the tip of my tongue.
Hold on.
Daff.
Yeah.
Daff. Hold on.
Yeah.
So. Okay, I guess we can cover what Phoenix does afterwards. It technically happens before this. I just want to point out that when he goes to the hospital, he's like, you roll me a persuasion roll to ask if you're looking for him at a hospital. So he rolls a 1 and he's like, they give you the runaround, we don't like you. Another masterful skill roll. Roll survival to find him.
No fucking sense that they'd give him the runaround. It makes no sense.
Eddie, he's just
ask for a roll. Really cool.
A fucking question, Eddie. Like, Jesus Christ.
Cool roll. Okay. Yes,
Eddie's
his name
so-
is Daff.
Eddie is so afraid to make a voice for a character he hasn't planned yet, and even then, it's kind of sketchy. Anyway, Daff. So he goes up to Daff, who I'll give you a little reminder. He is the Crow, like copy kind of
knockoff. They said.
Yeah,
like
he is a
baby
former
face
huntsman, but he is a guard now, and he was beaten up by Team Smoke, the bad
he's
guy.
the hostage last
And they were
time.
framed for hurting him, but now everyone knows that they didn't do it. Kind of.
kind of. Objectively.
Kind of. But you know, they get up there and he's like, "Oh, hey, Daff," and he goes, "Oh, hey, man," and then Pike goes, "Look, man, they tried to frame us for beating you up. Isn't that fucked up?" Because yeah, that is fucked up. I'm glad that you guys didn't get framed. Yeah, man. Somebody sent me flowers. Was that you guys? And Pike has an option select in his head, and he chooses. Yeah, we sent him.
Psycho moment number 3.
Yeah, we sent him. And Eddie, you can see Eddie's face like lights up because he's like, "Oh, yeah."
You activated my
Oh,
trap
yeah.
card.
And then he's like, "Can I roll to like rip the tag off of it?" And
The fucking card.
And he's like, "Yeah, the card." Yeah, roll. He gets like a 7 if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Mistaken.
something like that.
And he goes, "No." He sees you. He goes, "What are you doing?" Or he's like, "Well, I just want to see if it says the right thing." And he's like, "Well, no, I don't believe you." Like that was weirdly perceptive, and he's like, "No, I don't believe you." He's like, "What? Why would you lie?" And he's like,
We were really busy.
We were really busy.
Why did I just claim these?
We were really busy, and then he's like, and then I love that Eddie's like, Daff gets like more visibly like angry, and he's like, "No, that's wrong. Why would you lie? Why would you lie to us about something like this?"
Daff literally goes, "I never wish to see you again."
That's
Listen,
true.
I would be also upset that this guy went weirdly psychotic. I still don't get how Daff is like picks up that he's like lying about the flowers by him like fucking
Because
with them.
Eddie didn't.
Yeah, it's so dumb. But like,
Well, what Eddie should have said is, "Oh, you fuck up grabbing the card, it falls on the floor," and then
Yeah.
Daff picks it up.
yeah, exactly. I just
But-
everything about this scene is so bizarre.
Personally,
I think this scene is
hold on,
fucking
we're not
hilarious.
done.
Okay,
We're not
yeah.
done.
Go
We're
on.
not done.
Okay.
Because it keeps going, and even like this is universally not liked by the players and the editor also, because the editor makes a small montage where it's like, step 1, go to the hospital. Step 2, lie about the flowers. Then lie about like why you try to take the card. Fuck it all up. Like he makes
It is dubbed with faces of Carrie doing silly faces from the scene itself, and is called "How to Fail a Hospital Visit 101." And
Yeah.
the fact that we're pretty sure that Chris is editing these now makes this so much funnier to me.
Oh, the players are literally like, "Why did you do that, Carrie?" And his response is, "I thought it would be funny."
I
That
did-
He
is
said,
Quote.
"I was trying to be funny. I didn't know I'd be punished."
He said,
Yeah,
I didn't think there would be consequences. You know the quote because it's in the new intro, bros.
Yeah, let's go.
of course.
This is easily one of my favorite Carrie moments because it reads on a surface level of not having autism as well. Carrie's obviously joking around about this sort of thing and is laughing with him, everyone. But I completely read this as a cope moment where Carrie is genuinely caught off guard and trying to like laugh up the fact that he did something so stupid and be like, I didn't think there'd be consequences, guys. But it's secretly, inwardly being like, what the fuck?
Okay, so I want to pose a question from this scene. Okay. Now, there are 2 stances to take.
Okay.
Which part do you like more? Carrie and all of his weird decision, or Eddie's response? Because it's really funny that Pike even did this, But I was even more aghast and taken aback and laughed at the fact that, like, Eddie had this guy have such a viscerally terrible response to it.
I really love how Eddie played this, I'm gonna be honest.
It's so fucking hilarious. Like, that he goes to, like, how could you lie to me? I never want to see you again.
Because he's doing the shitty crow voice.
It's just so fucking hilarious that, like, okay, Pike is autistic. This is, like, peak autism in terms of, like, what the fuck? But it's, like, the fact that Eddie almost one-ups him in, like, because it's, like, we don't expect everyone to be on Pike's level of insanity. But
this is the same episode where the fucking guy who literally got left for dead is like, hey, we're best friends.
This is what I'm talking about. This was the dichotomy I'm thinking of earlier. What Daft's overreaction, while somewhat justified, is so strange because he is used as a knife to hurt the players. And I find it fucking insane that Eddie goes this far and this... Well, I find it insane on a normal level, but completely in character because Eddie thinks it's a funny joke that this is happening. And it's why Daft and Tums are both so confusing to me because they feel like they would have their roles swapped in how they react. Because ultimately, like, Daft might feel annoyed that he got involved with them and got hurt, but I think that, like, a guy like this being like, well, they had no reason to be that, like, worried about me after I tried to help them, but they did ultimately save my life after I got involved with their bullshit. So, like, okay, like, they're weird, but, like, hey, these guys are kind of stand up for Kuchinashi. And you'd think Tums would be like, what the fuck? I thought you guys were cool huntsmen. My worldview on huntsmen being awesome has been damaged and it actually affected me. But no, it's the complete opposite! There's no better DM for Carrie than Eddie, because they both are just the same level of fucking stupid with how they play characters. So when they're caught in a scene where two are, like, actually playing it out, it's like an amazing game of chicken, watching just both cars crash into each other. It's because crazy. They both think it's fucking hilarious to drive forward.
So you still, none of you have still answered my question. Which side do you like more?
Oh, I said I like Eddie more.
I like Eddie more.
I'm with them, Eddie. Eddie 100%.
Okay, so we all like Eddie more, which is impressive.
I mean, I still like Pike. He's a fucking psychopath.
Well, yeah, Pike's the psychopathic, but Eddie's response is directly to Pike, which makes it even funnier.
Everything Eddie does is intentional. Go ahead, I'm sorry.
You know, shit like this makes me just wish Eddie would fucking just let scenes play out. Because, you know, if he just let shit play out and all the scenes were this fucking retarded, where just, like, shit goes off the rails, characters flip on a dime, but, like, there's stuff happening, way more fucking entertaining than, you know, characters railing off meta-wise.
Eddie does not let people fucking speak to each other.
And... Like, oh my god, I just realized this is a U-Realms moment. This is a U-Quest moment. That's why Liam and I find this so funny. Oh no. But no, Liam is right. Like, objectively, so much more of this would be less dry and boring if they were just allowed to fuck up more about these sort of things. Like, it is kind of cathartic, as shitty as Eddie is as a DM, to step on the balls of shitty players by addressing how ridiculous they're being, by doubling down in an almost sort of malicious way like he did in the scene. Because you get something out of it. It's like, I think Carrie learned a lesson in this scene unironically, and does reconsider how he's going to go forward because of it. I don't think you always need to, like bring up the switch and hit your player like this, but boy does it lead to more funny content, right? Like, holy shit.
Oh, this scene was hilarious.
Yeah. I mean, props to Carrie to literally being just like a random generator of ideas.
But RWBY sucks so much, he just literally is never consistent.
I want to say, on this day, at the start of this day, if we're done with the Daft scene for now.
I think so.
Ben, do you have anything?
That scene. I mean, what else can you say about it?
Yeah.
I think Noah put it perfectly, man. It's just too. It's both of their particular quirks clashing at an inopportune time. What can you say?
Say it's mistakes into miracles, bros. What I wanted to say is this is the start of the second day, I think, and the way this
That's the third day.
Okay, this is the third day. Eddie starts this day off by being like, "Do you guys want to talk to each other about like the plan for the heist? You guys want to like have some discussion of what's going on, the information you got?" Cut to Chris loudly unmuting his mic. Eddie, I'd like to go to the blacksmith.
It's perfect, man.
Another classic Kokinos I want to play D&D moment because he wants to go get his sharpening buffs at the blacksmith.
Hey,
So he's just like,
John went to a blacksmith. This is completely canon.
this is canon. So he goes to the blacksmith, and Eddie cracks his knuckles and he'll be like, "All right, you'll fuck with my player interaction, right?" So he arrives at the blacksmith and is like, once again, grabs Chris by the balls and tells him how he talks to the blacksmith about containers being built with hard light dust for the party. Because no, there's nothing about yourself here. It's only about the fucking estate sale. You are going to talk about these hard light containers gained insight to them. Oh, and Chris, you love this guy. He is like built from the same cloth as Phoenix. You are really getting a lot from this conversation. Like, you're getting fucking an erection right now. You're talking about this, and oh my god, Chris, what's this? Phoenix is evolving. You are having such a good meta conversation where you haven't spoken in the last 2 minutes, Chris, that you are just filled with so much juice. You level up.
And now we talk about level ups.
So Eddie, ostensibly, grats, ZZ in the chat, everyone. Eddie essentially is committing towards the concept of milestone level ups in 5th edition. Fuck you, Eddie. I know you're playing 5th edition. I'm not even going to do the bit this episode. Which is obviously the alternative for using calculated XP from defeated enemies or encounters things having XP amounts for success rates and things. Which I don't think is necessarily a bad one. I like milestones myself. I know there's alternatives, and Ben, you could probably defend the case of actually tracking XP.
I have to say, if you're playing older editions, there's something to be said about XP. I think if you're playing 1st, 2nd edition, obviously there's no other option. You track XP. The game's built around it. 5th edition, I don't care what they say. It was built around milestone. Don't believe anything they say. It's built around milestone. 5th edition, just play with milestone. There's no point in tracking XP.
I 100% agree, especially for like in 5th edition stuff. That makes more sense for it. There's no point really tracking XP. So I don't dislike this idea, obviously, in the concept. A lot of players don't like, I know, the XP tracking. A lot of GMs don't like that. And especially if you want to free yourself in a way and feel like, okay, I don't want to have to manage too much XP for social interaction stuff. Like this campaign really has become, like, this is really a social, non-combat campaign mostly. Like, there's a few combats, but they're normally like one and done, don't continue. Obviously, there's some cases where it is, but so Eddie employs this method of milestone XP. But the first milestone is them like fucking off and doing nothing important. Phoenix's is the best, which is bizarre if you listen to my joke rant before. So, how do you guys feel about, like, how bad is this? Give it to me straight, everyone. Do you think this isn't as bad as I'm making it sound, or do you think Eddie is the worst?
So I'm of the opinion of the way he did it is fucking dumb. Because, one, don't make your players level up in the middle of the session. I guess it didn't matter because, they're literally not doing anything. But level up between sessions, that's why I personally really like milestones. Because, you end the session somewhere good and you say, boom, you level up to get that shit ready for next week.
Yes.
Yeah, like you can time the level up really nicely with some big story thing or like some
with a milestone.
With a milestone, exactly.
No, I'm just gonna give my point because it's not very detailed. I think this is completely cringe and terrible and awful, and you can go back to talking to him.
Yeah, and then the reason I have an issue with what Eddie's doing is he's making them all level up separately. Like, why? Like it's a big moment. I guess you kind of touched on this, but like, maybe if there were cool things happening to make them level up. But he's literally going to the blacksmith and doing nothing as the player and leveling up. And can I just go through the other
I would like you to, and I'd like to note that, like, I think for all of these, he describes it at one point being like a thing that's like reflecting on their self-interest or thing they like and being in their own element and being like, yeah, this is me, man. Like, Eddie tries to spin all of these as like weird like actualization moments. Continue. Please describe them, Liam.
Yeah.
Wait.
Actualization moments such as...
Wait, Liam. Yeah. So like you're gonna describe like a Rospa smothering a puppy to death.
Of course. So Carrie goes to sleep and levels up.
Takes a depression nap.
Yeah, he takes a depression nap after talking to Daff and levels up from that. So, what the fuck? It literally is nothing just off of that.
Wow, sleeping really does belt me progress! Quote from Carrie Shawcross.
I don't actually remember what Chad's is.
Chad's and Rostra's are the same, Liam.
Well, Rostra's...
Kind of.
Well, Rostra's pissing me off, and I have to talk about her whole adventure that day.
Oh, Rostra's library visit's awesome. Here, I'll handle Chad's. It was going around the hedges and asking things. With Rostra?
No, Rostra went to the library.
Well, it was like asking for directions, and then she left, and he's like, damn, those directions were fucking badass. That is literally what happens.
Pretty keen.
Alright, yeah. So Chad's is shit. So I got a bitch about fucking Rostra's adventure that day. Her level up day.
Hold on, cut in before. Grimm Campaign cut in. I have to say what everyone else is doing. So Pike is doing that depression nap. Like I said, Asher goes out, learns that the items will be sold on the west wing of the first floor. Boom, level up. That is literally what happens. Phoenix. This is the one that confuses me the most meta-wise. On the off day, this is not addressed more than a sentence. That Phoenix is mad, so he goes out to kill Grimm by himself and train. Okay, cool. Grimm suck, I don't care. Lone huntsmen going out by themselves and just killing them off screen for no reason. I guess there were just some Grimm nearby. Cool. Arostra goes to the library. You're up, Liam.
Alright, so she actually doesn't go to the library.
You're right.
Eddie makes her roll a survival check.
Yes.
To just fucking do something around town. And she rolls shitty. So he's like, you walk around town and nothing really happens. And then he's like, shit, roll me a perception check. And she rolls like an 18. He's like, oh man, you perception, oh boy, you went to a library and found blueprints for the house.
It's literally been the same sentence of arriving at the library as you found blueprints for the house. I fucking died.
Like she's her character is standing in the fucking middle of town square, and she rolls a high perception, and she is teleported to a library where she sees the blueprints for the house. I don't know what the fuck is wrong with Eddie. And one, he would just randomly teleport her to a library and say, "Oh." She didn't say I'm going to a library. He just said, you go to a library because you rolled well on this perception check. I don't know what the fuck that she saw that made her think, oh shit, a library. Oh shit, there's a blueprint. Oh shit, I noticed the hidden passages on the blueprint.
Not only that, he gets a perception roll staring at blueprints and discovers hidden passages.
What the fuck do you mean hidden passage on blueprints? What is it, fucking national treasure? You gotta put it in the fucking oven? You see the fucking hidden lines? What the fuck, Daddy?
I could not fucking believe there was another roll to discover secrets on the map of the manor. Fucking awesome, Eddie. Like, it's
God, dude, Eddie, What was he planning? Did he have a plan? Don't answer that. I know it's no, but...
Well, no. He started the session. He's like, all right, well, I need to tell the players about the deliveries, the blueprints, the security guards, some other bullshit.
Yeah, but he's saying the attendance.
And they're going to get all of them no matter what they do.
They're going to find them all. Like I stated at the beginning, and now that we're at this roster scene, which is the pinnacle of it, there is nothing that ruins the effect of making sure you run your game well more than revealing the linearity of things in the most painful way possible. This could be a very fun session if the players feel like they're achieving this goal, even if ultimately you expect most of these things to be done. As long as they are the ones initiating it and you make it feel like it is a much more like, oh shit, you've discovered that was good thinking. That's the illusion as the game master that you want to have, that people feel like they're progressing, not literally down a fucking straight line. But Eddie cannot handle that, so a roster is fucking /teleported and /spawn item blueprint secret info.
You will be on Eddie's fun path, and you will not get off it, or he will fucking destroy you. He will start talking as you to get you back on his path.
And then her roster gets so horny from the blueprints, she levels up. Not because of the blueprints, but because she loves the library. Awesome.
It is again, it's just so sad because this could have just been a good episode. Just, what do you guys want to do? You could make hints like, oh, maybe you want to go find blueprints. Where maybe you can get those. I don't know. Go to like the city planner building or whatever the fuck that has like the records for all the buildings in the city. Maybe you got to schmooze the fucking clerk at the front,
maybe
or break in a back door, or literally fucking
anything. Whoa, fuck off, Noah.
Talk with some contacts of yours, make some more friends, see how everyone's doing, check in on things.
Do you say talk to each
other?
Like, I have to go get some takeouts.
Place for a day to make some friends. Scope out the. Exactly. He does a delivery to the place, scopes out like the delivery area, maybe peeks inside the building, get a good idea.
Maybe
all these things.
Maybe you find the delivery place and you're like, oh my god, that's Tums, and you guys have to decide if you're going to try and talk to them now, instead of him just like RuneScape random event popping up next to you. I just think this entire episode, Eddie came into it with the wrong mindset. One of the first things he describes to them, as they're all preparing on their first day to go off, is that he says there is a palpable feeling of excitement for this mission, or bubbling feeling of excitement for this mission, which just immediately put me in the mind space of, oh, Eddie has no idea what he's thinking about with these characters, because this is a mission they've undertaken under duress of being strong-armed into this mission by the Taskmaster and the situation. Why would these characters be excited for this? And it's just completely mishandled the whole way. This whole montage is more like a schizophrenic episode. It's just such a waste. I'm with Liam. A heist would be cool.
I mean, God, I want anything cool to happen, and a heist can be cool, but, I mean, would anyone here categorize this as a sandbox game where they can go out and find all this out for themselves?
God, no.
No, yeah, you cannot get off Eddie's wacky ride.
No. And
no, you cannot.
It is a haunted house where there is one jump up after another, and you stop being scared. You stop being interested because the funny fucking pop-up keeps throwing up in your face and going, dude, Takos. I also want to say they unlock something by becoming level 2. Eddie says they unlock team attacks. Okay. Thoughts that this is like a level 2 unlock.
In theory, I don't know. It's dumb.
Mm-hmm.
If they were like not fully trained huntsmen, I'd be like, making like forcing your players to, expend some time knowing each other before you can synergize really well. But like huntsmen, like by default, like group up with other huntsmen, like that they're not familiar with. I assume.
Oh, they were all trained at the academy. They played with teams before. all of these people have been forced to be a team player at some point. They managed to get through a Huntsman Academy. This is like I played Persona, and I'm like, oh, follow-up attacks at level 2 social link. But this is leveling. Like, team attacks is such a weird thing to be locked behind a level gate. This is the first time Eddie describes a level-up feature that is gained that I'm just bewildered that he thinks this is a good level-up feature. We'll get into them more in Season 2, because there's a really weird one there. I'm going to tell you guys, I'm of the same opinion where I don't think it's the worst thing to do, but by the fact that the team had already been trying to do team attacks, and you later learned that it was gated off by randomly being level 2, and you're thinking, like, man, they had to wait this long to get to this basic shit they already want to do. I'm just like, I just think that was a bad read. I just wouldn't have done it that way. I think team attacks are a good idea to have right away if people are willing to do them. I would have saved it for, I don't know, specific attacks you do with together. I don't know. Maybe like they could have done 2-person team attacks before, and now they can do more. I just don't know, man.
Yeah,
maybe a system where you could just do whatever and have, a system.
I just don't understand, like, why team attacks now?
Yeah, exactly.
I don't know, dude. Like, yeah, they leveled up, but they're level 2, and it's fucking episode 8.
8. I think this one's 7. Yeah, but well, basically
you're right.
They only have them available by the end of episode 7. So I'll give you that one. And on that,
come on, man.
Yeah, on that point, like, this feels slow. Their like progress.
I feel like Eddie came up. I honestly wonder, were they told about that beforehand? Because I feel like they weren't. I feel like it's something Eddie just came up with.
They all react surprised. Like, obviously, they overreact to things all the time.
Well, yeah,
like,
we act too,
Yeah, we pretend we're surprised by things that happen in games. Just make the DM not want to kill themselves.
The minute this camera turns off, though, we're just like,
jaded.
God.
We're all doing fake voices right now.
Yeah.
We're doing YouTubers.
Yeah, this is actually my real voice.
We're all doing
I'm the script writer.
Yeah, this is all scripted. I will give them this. I would never accuse this show of being scripted like Critical Role. This show is clearly not scripted.
Critical Role isn't scripted.
Okay, fine. They're cue carded. Fuck you. It's the same thing. Yeah, completely feels like something he just made up on the spot. Very bizarre. And ideally, the idea would be the unlocking of team attacks is a signifier that the team has gained a unity and trust with each other. But the fact that he flavors all the level ups in them being isolated and focusing on themselves goes completely incongruent with like the idea of now having team attacks. Like, I know this is like a weird point to maybe focus on compared to what we have, but you really want to think of things like this. You want everything to work together, meta and like character-wise, well together. And I just find that one particularly egregious of like looking under the hood and going, that's so stupid how you described it. Why weren't they leveling up once they all were learned we're working with the Taskmaster now? We have to work together for this mission. Level up team attacks. You guys have proven you're willing to work together. This is a new step in your life. No, it's when you all go off by yourself and dick around with NPCs as Eddie marionettes your character.
Yeah, it's just really fucking awkward.
Yeah. Well, we've yet to scratch the surface of awkward because we have to get to the estate sale.
One last note I wanted to make because we kind of touched on it a little bit. I just wanted to mention it, call out specifically. So over these 4 days, they were all asked, what they wanted to do. Not once did Arastra have anything she wanted to do. I just wanted to make sure that was made clear.
Never!
The only thing she ever said was, "Oh, I'll do what that other person said, and I'll just follow them."
What did Asher do?
Fucking
or a queen.
Did you ask me what Asher did?
No. She
does what Asher does.
Oh, sorry. Yeah.
She asked what Asher did.
Yeah. It's.
So I just wanted to call it out, just specifically.
Thank you.
Laura, step your game up. Come on.
Come on, Laura. Laura, come on. You only have like an hour you need to play. Just do something. I want to say that, like, maybe I see that scene with Pike as like Laura maybe trying to keep her original character description of like Arastra doesn't make social contacts easily, and you have to like really wait for her to warm up to you, and like that's just showing off her character. But like, I just think that's a character trait made to give yourself the out from not doing things you don't want to. And yeah, I mean, if your biggest acts in the episode are inaction, you're really not doing a good job. I say a lot that those kinds of characters can be done well, but you really have to do a lot of like under the hood work on why characters are being standoffish and cold, and to make it like fun to work with, not just like yeah, I don't go to the character and talk to them. You have to be like a little more fun with it, in the sense of you're describing it and really getting into why they're like this and giving it something in place of this character interacting with others or having ideas. But this just completely comes across as disinterest.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, fucking Carrie, who slept 2 days, did more than her.
Literally, yeah! Like going, oh, I'm gonna take a depression nap is better than a roster going, I follow and ignore child and buy dust. I don't know, man.
A roster is just so nothing sometimes.
It's really important to be talking about this, honestly, because we are going to reach, in the season finale, possibly one of the worst crescendos.
Oh, yes,
Listen, we can't talk about it at all, because I don't want this to be spoiled for our viewers who haven't watched the show. I hope there isn't a viewer who has watched this show. These are those episodes I go, Jesus Christ, this is why I tell people don't watch this show. I know it sounds like it can be fun to laugh. This is why I try and give you cliff notes, so you don't have to sit through this shit.
We will also talk about how we averted disaster once upon a time.
Oh, yes. God, that's great! That'll be a great story, actually. I forgot about it. That's awesome. Oh, my God.
I don't even know what you're talking about. I'm excited.
Yeah, that's awesome. Oh, my God.
Yeah.
That's a good point, Ben. Good. Okay.
Write that down.
Yeah. So, estate sale. Everyone goes off in their funny outfit attires to go split off in the manor. Does anyone actually remember what everyone does each? Did someone take note of that?
I remember Pike had like a waiter uniform, a bartender uniform.
He's going with Cram.
Phoenix is moving stuff with Tum. Asher is sneaking in through like the roof. And Arastra like phases through the wall or some shit. I forget how she gets.
No, Arastra is with the catering staff. Phoenix is with the delivery. And Chad is just like, dude, I'm a thief. I'm not going in a dumb out.
No.
Are you about to say it?
I described this?
Yes, I was thinking of the exact moment. Please go ahead. This is my favorite Chad.
Eddie,
moment, literally.
Eddie goes through every one of the players. All three of them, other than Chad. Telling them like, oh, you're wearing this because you're in this group. Oh, you're wearing this. You're wearing the little suit and tie. Blah blah blah. You're wearing this. He gets to Asher, who's like climbing a building. He's like, Chad, what are you wearing? And he's like, well, and then Chad gets pissed for some reason. He's like, well, I hope I get one for free like everyone else, and I'm not dressed like a D&D rogue.
It was so fucking funny because I was feeling the exact same way. He's like, Chad, have you like prepared to break in with your stuff here? And he's like, yeah, I fucking hope so because everyone else got shit. Quote Chad, everyone else got things for free, so I hope I did. It is one of those moments where Chad's fury boils through, and I swear we're not schizophrenic. There is this weird undercurrent of Chad and Chris getting pissed off at different times. And this is one of my favorite moments about it.
Chris is like always fucking mad at Eddie. Like Eddie's always like, "What do you want to do?" And Chris is like, "I don't want to fucking talk to anyone. I want to fucking go and find the White Fang."
Yeah, Chris is like, I don't want to talk to anyone. I'll go Blacksmith White Fang. Chad is like, oh, what do you want to do? He's like, well, I might want to do this, but I know that could like completely fuck me over. I love Chad's little nags towards Eddie about how dumb he is with skill roll penalties and like costs sometimes. And it's so funny to me because I have to imagine there's awkward conversations they cut out where Chad is going like that was gay, and they have to cut that shit out because he always slips little things in, and I'm like, there's no way this is it. So
I just loved his little like because Eddie literally did describe everyone else's outfit without like prompting them, or asking them what they were wearing.
Not at all, yeah. And
I think Chad is realistically upset.
Oh yeah, this is completely fair.
I was shocked too. I'm like, why the fuck didn't you tell him what he's wearing at least?
Yeah, why didn't you tell? Like Eddie's expectation to be like, Chad, if you prepared all your gear and stuff is like, thank you, Liam. It's like this does not fit how you've treated everyone else so far. It's so funny to me.
And the best part is, and I like it too because he asked Chad what he's wearing. It's not like he's saying, "Oh, you're not wearing anything." But he gets mad in his response. Doesn't say what he's wearing.
Yeah, not at all.
No. He's still just dressed as a fucking D&D rogue.
No, yeah, it's never actually addressed. It's just a weird moment of contention. So this is what starts. This episode was already pretty bad with cutting away to each other, but the estate sale itself, and this continues the whole next episode until they're all united again, is literally like a fever dream of cutting away, cutting to people, Eddie jerking himself off that something is happening, and he cuts away from it.
The estates. Okay. Here, I'm just gonna say, as a DM who has at times actually done like arcs where players are separated or doing separate things, don't fucking cut away every 5 minutes. Have it in like large chunks so people do a good amount of stuff and then you cut away from them for a good amount of time. Because if you don't, it feels schizophrenic and really poorly paced.
You cannot treat D&D like a television show in how you run it. You cannot be doing an ensemble cast job where you cut after 5 minutes of talking with someone or doing an action. It is just completely painful.
You guys are being very generous with this 5 minutes. If it was 5 minutes, it would have been bearable. It's like every 45 seconds.
You're right, honestly.
Yeah,
you're honestly right.
It's every 45 seconds with the cutting, to be fair.
Yes.
But the cutting almost makes it more jarring.
That's why I assume it has to be a bit longer, like, out of the chopping room floor. But if this is just, like, there is a part of me that wonders if this is all just the editor making it super bad seeming. But then again, I also wonder, like, oh my god, if this is the after product, what was the stuff they thought wasn't important? So, this could be so much worse. So, like, there's a lot of little things going on right now. And there is a particular amount of described, like, tracking of detail. I will say one thing is that Carrie, to me, how this reads from the edited version, actually does seem to be paying a lot of attention to actual details on, like, the floor plan and stuff, and, like, listing out, being like, that's there, we need to go there and there, like, in the meta talks they're having. Which caught me off guard, because I didn't think he was that kind of guy.
That'd be fucked up. I thought he was, like, reading from a script at some point.
Yeah.
Well, that's why I fucking wish that
Eddie had a map that they weren't showing.
That Eddie wouldn't fucking interrupt them every 10 seconds, because I actually feel this would have been okay if you let them actually interact through, like, the intercom system and talk to each other more while they're doing this plan. But Eddie, they can't get fucking one sentence out without Eddie cutting them off, being like, okay, now this is what you're thinking, and this is where you're going, and this is, oh look, it's all the funny guards! Ha ha ha, what are you doing here?
Yeah, like, this is presented like a Hitman level at first, and
yeah, exactly.
It really does. It does feel like, from the way they talk, the players probably do have, like, Eddie probably did make a map. It is not shown on screen or anything, but I presume there is actually, like, a layout map they're looking at.
Yeah, Chad.
Or else they are really doing some good, like.
because Chad gives pretty accurate descriptions immediately at a lot of points, so I assume they have something they're looking... Like, I assume...
Yeah, there's a lot of times where characters are going like, oh yeah, you're definitely there, I think.
I assume Eddie literally has, like, a Roll20 map open that they're
like
on.
a JPEG,
yeah, like a JPEG that they put their character markers on, so they can move them around, so, like, Chad can be like, oh, where are... Like someone asked Chad where they are, and since Chad has a map, he's just like, oh, you're in, like, this part of the mansion around, like, this wall.
Which begs me to ask the question, why the fuck don't we see it?
Why can't
we see it? It so much easier to follow if there's a map.
Yes, it is very confusing at points. We're kind of bleeding into the next episode, but
maybe it's because there's secret sponsorship with Tailspire.
We might as well just go on to the next fucking episode.
Oh, no.
Using Roll20.
There are some details. This is happening in both episodes, and there's a couple details that are very important in this episode, First Spin, that we cannot skip by. But yeah, this entire heist is very interesting, and I'll get into it more in the next one, I think. What scenes of important that aren't just like, dude, haha, Tums is going, yo, bro, I'll help you in the secret passage. Don't get your fingers crossed, like...
Alright, I got one.
Okay, yes, please.
Alright, Carrie's outside, ready to enter the mansion.
Yes.
And he says, I want to pick up a flower. And Eddie's like, alright, roll.
Roll survival.
Roll survival to pick up a flower.
No, and
Eddie.
And he goes, Eddie, are you kidding?
Me? Eddie, this die in Minecraft, please. Fall
honestly,
from a high place in Minecraft.
Yes, I have to agree. Die in Minecraft because, dude, he just wants to pick a flower. Oh, and then he rolls. He's like, oh, what if? And two people that aren't him go, what if he rolls a 1? What if he picks a poisonous flower?
If he picks what if he rolls a heckin' 1 or a pog 20?
Not the heckin' 1, dude.
Anyway, so he says he wants to pick up a flower for Daff.
Oh my god!
Oh yeah,
specifically.
Wait, Liam, do you want to do a little recreation of this scene? I can play Eddie if you want. Carrie,
yeah, sure.
Carrie, well, you pick a flower. What kind of flower do you want?
If there were, what flower do you think represents Daff?
Oh, well, I would say perhaps a daffodil. Cut to 3 other players in the background going, oh, I get it!
Ha ha
ha! Are we fucking... Did no one else know his name was Daffodil?
I was, I didn't. I was like, oh fuck, that's a RWBY character name! I didn't see it coming!
Oh my god, Liam.
Hey man. I thought he was like a duck.
This is the equivalent of like...
What?
I need a flower for Rosalind. I guess I'll get a rose. Dude, like...
What in fact, Rosalind has handed me a rose?
Yeah, but that's like her gimmick, because she's just a Vega.
But then she also handed me like a bouquet of flowers that has hidden meaning that's really, really autistic.
I just might... That's not autistic, that's Victorian.
It's a joke! It's a fucking joke, you goddamn...
Joking too, Jesus. Blake is fucking...
Move on!
Move on!
Jesus.
Cut this out. Cut this
out. We don't want the viewers to see this.
You can do everything.
I find the concept of not like this is one detail of RWBY that I find funny, and this is how I work off of it. In character, I don't in Records of Remnant, you will never hear me have a character go, isn't it funny that your name means yellow and your aura is yellow? Like you cannot, and without making the setting like fall in on itself on how stupid of like a fun little meta thing is by acknowledging.
Isn't it funny that your last name means spider?
And you have a spider. You are not allowed, if you want your game not to seem like a joke, if you're running a RWBY game, to acknowledge the fact that character names are all colors and all relate to an object. If you are handing an object of the character's name to them in a RWBY game, you deserve to explode in Minecraft. Creepers, water.
One moment. Felix, how would you like this purple suit?
What a great call.
No, that's different. That is a little different. That's like goes with your color. Being like, let me colorize you. You have purple eyes or whatever. Fine.
That's something funny and cute, but literally going...
No, saying Felix... me going Felix is actually a prince is more of what I'm talking about.
That's very funny.
Imagine if I had just said when we're doing the first like aura feel, yeah, Clara's feels like the sky because her name's Sky. Brady feels like this is what I'm talking about, and a character going, "Isn't it so funny that like you like purple and your aura's purple?" It's like, well, no shit, my fucking aura's purple. Of course I like that color. It's part of my soul.
It's Power Ranger shit. You can't point it out.
You can't point it out.
What if I ate a plum while talking about Umaboshi?
Oh no! God damn it, Liam! I want to kill him! I want to kill Richard! That happened! I'm gonna kill him!
Who are you talking about? Don't you mean Yamabushi?
What did you just fucking say?
Okay.
Watch it.
Okay. So yes, Pike picks this fucking flower. I also want to talk about something Pike has happened to him in the party. Pike is on the floor, the main floor of the party.
Walking the dinosaur.
Shut the fuck up.
And he gets flagged down by a lady in the party who's like, Pike, right! And Carrie, completely out of character of Pike, is immediately on high alert suspicion at trying to act intellectual because he doesn't want to get found out in this heist. But hey, maybe Psycho Pike really is this cold and calculating. This woman introduces herself as a reporter named Lavender. I have a big problem. This is either an intentional joke that she uses a name Lavender because Lisa Lavender is the canonical reporter we see in RWBY, or Eddie completely forgot that and did that by accident. Both of these options is bad because I will tell you now, this is not actually Lisa Lavender. So walking up and being like, "Oh, you're a reporter. What's your name?" and being like, "Oh, I'm Joe Rogan." He's picking like a well-known celebrity or like person's name.
I'm Anderson Cooper.
I'm Anderson Cooper. I'm a reporter. My name's Cooper, Anderson Cooper. You might like alluding to that would be a very weirdly suspicious choice, or it's embarrassing because Eddie forgot about Lisa Lavender. And that's embarrassing in of itself. So both answers to this question are retarded. Remember, this is 2 years before current RWBY, so Lisa Lavender is just presumably just a reporter. It's not like it's in the past, so it's like, oh, isn't it funny? What coincidence. It's like, no. There's no way to interpret this, not in a bad way.
Isn't it funny?
Decision. No! It's not funny. Objectively. But anyway, she's kind of like talking to Pike and being like, yeah, people are talking about you, like, you guys are at the party, right? Like, weird as fuck questions. But she's also described as asking him and, like, being flirty with him. So Eddie's in a bit of a flirty mood today, is what I wrote down. Eddie all these girls want to fuck Pike.
Wouldn't you?
Yeah. But, Psycho Pike
I know I would.
Isn't that really good, like, foreshadowing to have someone want to fuck Pike because that's just so unrealistic? I mean, honestly, what a master.
No. Like I said, like this one I buy more than the Opal one because like clearly she's just trying to like get his guard down. But like of course, like I know why this doesn't register as weird to me. In like why did Eddie do this? This is like, well, yeah, of course, it's like trying to fucking get him to slip up and say shit. But Pike is basically like, I don't know where my team is, whatever, fuck. And he's like, guys, there's a fucking reporter looking for us to kill her.
Murder her.
Like, Pike's suspicion and being like, look out, guys, we're on the look, they're looking for us, is like, just fitting in with this new weird, like, aggressively psychopathic Pike who's, like, more about business and isn't, like, this naive kid he was proposed to be. I believe at the start of this episode at one point, Pike mentioned he didn't care about money again, but, like, we're back to Psycho Pike now, so I don't know. Let's see. Who Okay,
Oh,
there's
well,
one last thing that happened. Yeah, what? Oh, yeah?
Oh, you can't forget about Arastra.
Oh, please, go ahead, Liam.
Oh, so Eddie's like, "What are you doing, Arastra?" And she's like, "Well, I'm gonna keep a low profile and try and like keep my head low and not really talk to anybody." All right, you can go on now.
I fucking hate Laura.
Arastra is an interesting character with many developments.
Eddie is just like, okay, fuck you, Laura, so I'm gonna tell you you're hearing about Vermilion Raddick. Circle this name, he's an important character. The new leader of the Hana, who's supposed to be showing up today, and and Arastra hears that okay. I don't know where to begin. Arastra hears that some of the items they will be putting onto auction today are believed to be magical. This is said with no fanfare, no shock, and reacted to by the players with mild eyebrow raises.
This is said in such this is said with so little like fanfare that like you have to probably pause and do a double take, being like, "Did you just fucking say magic?"
I must have missed that.
Because nobody fucking
they
says
literally
anything.
say magical. It is not like, ooh, they're from an old civilization, interesting craftsmanship, or like, ooh, there's like these weird unseen designs or like weird forging techniques to make these like items or something that people can't explain, like Damascus steel or something. No, people think they're magical. Like, it's heard in the crowd that someone's like, people are talking about thinking they're magical. Yeah, I just have like a convulsion instantly. Like the fact that this is just happening, you're not it's not like revealed shockingly. It's just said. It's just there. It's like wet on the floor. You're staring at it. You're just like,
you came in, the cat knocked over the vial that says magic is not like common,
and you just are like, Eddie, no. Eddie, no. What do you mean? Okay, so group questionnaire again, our favorite object on Supernova Safari to do. Okay, guys, so in RWBY, we've all seen RWBY. We all know RWBY by now. What is your thoughts on the idea?
I have never seen RWBY. Don't put that on me.
What is your thoughts on the concept of non-relic magical items that existing? Let's just say existing. Let's not even go into the exact context this is in. What is your thoughts on them existing?
I barely remember the RWBY lore.
Just a magical item existing.
Yeah, just a magical item existing.
I think that's fine, but you need to explain why this wasn't contained a long time ago.
Mm-hmm. Liam?
That's fucking nonsense. It doesn't make any sense.
Blake?
I would...
There's no wrong answers.
Like, 95% of the time, I could say it's cringe.
That's fair.
But I will give... I basically won't say you can never do it. I would just say you have to be very, very, like... You have to have a very good explanation, like I think Ben means, to convince me that this is not a stupid idea.
Yeah.
You can either never do it or do it once.
These are some good opinions. My own personal one is that lore-wise, I don't think it's necessarily a... I don't necessarily think it goes against anything in lore. I think it's a supported idea from how... I refer to it the Sundering in my game. I don't think it has an official name of like when Remnant was split up by the gods and they took magic and shit away because they were pissed off. Like, because, you know, Remnant's lore, brief refresher, obviously, for anyone who's listening, I don't expect everyone to remember everything on RWBY, is that Remnant, before it was Remnant, because the name of Remnant is a haha joke, the place is ruined now, was just magic existed. It was the two brothers created and humans had full access to it. The Grimm still existed. Humans were the final creation of the two brothers. Before them came Grimm and stuff. And they were creatures that had emotions and aura and can wield magic like the brothers could to a degree and learn to do it. And so they had a large society that went on for unknown amount of time, but presumably long enough to have many cultures in them and an established society. So the concept of magical items remaining is definitely something that makes sense because obviously, not only were things like the relics kept, but obviously in the case of Ozma and Salem, there were exceptions to those who weren't stripped of their magic. And so the idea that objects or things that were made of magic that lasted makes enough sense to me that those could have slipped under the radar. It was never said if they eradicated all magical items or anything, along with like people losing their magic. Semblances and dust are remnants of remnants of magic. Humans were still able to access semblances, which are a little... You could think of semblances as one magical thing people could use to do just in the infinite vastness of magic. And now they're only limited to one. Dust is a product that came down from the moon when the gods hit it and created this magical like rock that fell from the sky and grew in Remnant. Every aura supplies dust, which in turn can supply itself. Man came from dust, yada, yada, yada. Mankind of itself is still slightly magical in RWBY. So the idea that these magic items still exist, okay, yeah, I of course that could exist. Now, you then would infer that Ozma and Salem, over the course of the centuries, or however long you expect RWBY to exist, that they're alive, would probably pursue magical items, because both of them have a semi to less limited form of magic in themselves, and would be knowledgeable about these things, probably, since they were previous rulers of the land. So then magic items that still exist would still probably be scarce, because you'd imagine over the course of time these two would be fighting over them. You know, like, the idea that someone who's magical making a magical item is also something that's canonized now with Osmond's stupid stick. As dumb as the stick is, now it's been proven that, yeah, after the Sundering and stuff, people can make magical items if they still had access to raw magic. So, there's nothing about this that doesn't make sense to me, and I've gone this lore tangent for a little bit.
The stick that contains all of his kinetic energy he's built up.
Why would you just make kinetic energy, Osmond?
Why would you say kinetic? Is it like the clock ticking adds a little energy to it?
No, it's... I don't know. Man.
Why was it a big flash of light?
It's kinetic.
Why did it only go... Why didn't Oscar die?
Stay tuned, folks. Anyway, right. So...
Wait, hold on. Did you hear that, Philo? We're gonna get some magic items.
So, 2.
Oh, dude, I want enchanted plate mail.
Yeah, plate mail!
2.
How much?
The reinterpretation
Give me the plate mail!
Shut up! 2. The reintegration of magical items as a concept that might not be expressively magic immediately is a good idea. Like, oh, this shit does this. Why does it do it? Oh, it's got this dust crystal or whatever. Actually, it's like magic. Like, you could do something like that. Like, oh, this dust gem is like gives like more weird dust than normal. Oh, maybe it's actually magic, but people don't actually interpret it as that. I mean, the way society functions, Remnant is still a magic-based society from dust, but they just don't think it's magic anymore, because the concept of magic existing was erased by the gods when they fucking culled humanity and reintegrated them as a non-inherently magical society. So the concept of people going, oh, it's a magical object, while not impossible that a bunch of retards high in their own fucking farts would go to a weird estate sale by this weird guy who mined in tombs and came back with weird objects, would go, oh, I hear this is magical. So I don't necessarily hate the idea that all these retards are like, oh my god, there's a magical orb for sale. Or the fact that, okay, maybe there is one weird magical orb for sale. I don't hate this all inherently. However, as expressed, I think by everyone, this is a fucking genie. If you open this bottle, and I don't mean that as a fucking dumb fucking gin reference. Kill yourself if that's where you fought in Minecraft. If you open this bottle, you have created a situation that if you have not properly quarantined with explanations for every reason it is like this, you are a fucking idiot. You are doing something that you permanently renders the setting damaged by its canonization if you're in this shoes. And as addressed, this campaign is soft canon. This campaign is soft canon. So, obviously, this necessarily doesn't mean it will come up in RWBY. But as we've learned, the RWBY writers are starting to really like the idea of just fucking around with magic, which is bad, because it's making their setting fall apart. So, when I hear that Eddie has decided there's a magical item for sale, I basically shit my pants. Because I know there's no way he's not actually selling a magic item. And there's no way Eddie is going to do this in a way that doesn't come across as the stupidest idea ever. And then I'm shown there's a dumber idea, as Vermilion Radic walks in.
No.
But what were you saying, Blake?
No. I don't think you have to worry. Nothing about the next season leads us to believe it's magic focused.
Oh my god. Guys, season 2.
No, next season of RWBY.
Oh my god, I don't want to talk about Volume 9.
What's gonna be worse?
Let's literally not.
I can't wait to go in the spirit realm and meet the two spirits of how airbending was made, and they steal
I love that.
I can't wait to go meet the dragon turtles of Remnant. Okay.
You guys watch Avatar? I did.
So the last thing that happens is that... Does anyone else want to take this point, or should I? Do you guys remember Vermilion's introduction?
He walks in the fucking room.
He literally walks in with his goons and goes, "I'd like to bid on an item."
Thank you. That's exactly what I was
With a weird, slightly accented voice.
And he does not have the voice he gets in season 2, which is fair, I guess.
But this is so weird, because in the next episode, Eddie is hearing him in the background talking in his accented voice, which is completely abandoned!
Clara walks into the restaurant. I'd like to buy those foods.
Now, I'd like to get a little more specific here. Vermilion Braddock is described as a large man with a red leather cloak and a nondescript animal mask. This will later be shown to, 1, forget that he had a red leather cloak, it's actually a red leather jacket, and 2, be like a fucking, oh god, what's the fucking game called? What's the top-down shooter game called? Help me, please, gamers, I require your help.
Nobody help him, nobody help him.
Give more description. What do you mean?
The fucking Animal Mask shooter game.
Oh, Hotline Miami.
Oh, Hotline Miami.
It is a Hotline Miami pig mask. That is what Eddie means by this. He walks in, and Eddie says, he kind of does that saying, like, you know, like how Bane in The Dark Knight does it. This character is just Bane from The Dark Knight. And Eddie thinks...
That's nice of you to join me.
They literally all start doing this joke.
Item.
Like, the joke writes its fucking self, guys. Like, Eddie... spoiler alert, Vermilion Braddock is the main antagonist of this game right now. And it's still in the current time. He's the main antagonist. We'll get more into Vermilion Braddock in Volume 2 of the Grimm Campaign. Jesus fucking Christ. Eddie's just like, I'm gonna do a Bane joke character as a villain.
So you say your name is Pike Wright? Interesting.
But yes, Vermilion Braddock...
drill, would it be painful?
He's literally
Philo,
fucking mask.
Your name's Philo, huh? Come here, you.
Okay. I think it's time.
Can I just say?
Yes.
No.
I'd like to bid on an item. Alright, that's the cliffhanger. I'll see you guys next week. It's not a cool one-liner or cliffhanger at all.
You?
Yeah.
Can we just agree that he sucks at cliffhangers?
Maybe for you.
He does not know what is cool at all.
Eddie doesn't know what is cool, and the players don't help him, because every time they go, no, we keep playing! I don't believe you guys. Stop.
Literally shut up.
It is so hollow sounding. Yeah, no, but Liam is completely right. Like, bro, I love cliffhangers. Eddie, what are you fucking doing? Go ahead, Liam.
And, you know, I wouldn't be so upset that he sucks at cliffhangers if it was just once an episode. But he's doing it with these fucking scene swaps where he's like, oh, you see someone, but we'll cut back next time.
It is literally his entire game is Eddie's love of, like, cliffhanger cuts. And it makes so much more sense why RWBY always tried to do these awkward ones in the episodes. It's probably just Eddie every fucking time. It's so painful. Like, yeah, Vermilion coming in with the Hana gang Yakuza members is like, oh, okay, that's like a moment. But he's not like, I'm going to be taking that item, actually. Or, here's my down payment. Describe Vermilion like shooting a guy. Like, no, it's just, I'd like to bid on these items.
I will pay a fair market price for those items.
I will play by the rules and take society and not be a Yakuza gang member who will forcefully take something precious I need. No, here's some credit cards.
Can I also say, now that I'm realizing it, it's really cringe to do like an auction bid section without like having any item of value or interest to the player in the auction.
Yes.
Yes. Like, isn't it cool to like maybe be a player and like try and like outbid somebody? Maybe it's cringe to actually do that, but I don't know.
Why was the Taskmaster's mission not part of the auction? Why was the item a scroll in a fucking dresser in some room upstairs? Why was it
not may have done this 5 days ago. Was it moved into that dresser 5 days ago?
Yeah, it's like security. Eddie described it as security. Eddie described it as
awful. I'm just realizing how awful this is.
Yes, exactly. This whole situation is very confusing because Eddie's description is security is tighter when the auction isn't happening. Wouldn't the auction be the day, since they're inviting hundreds of people into the house, the day it is as tight as possible? Wouldn't it be not in there? And because this is not an item at the auction, why do they have to do this during the auction? Maybe after all the normal like goods that are rare are offloaded, security would be like, okay, we can lax a little bit. Nobody's gonna come rob the place now that we sold everything. And they're like, well, we're just looking for this random fucking scroll that's not even on the auction. We'll go in now. But no.
Here, I'll fix it for Eddie. So security from here till the auction is very tight, and the item will be moved out by the time the auction's over.
Yes,
so your best time to move in is during the auction, when people can come and go with a little less like notice.
Yeah, exactly.
There,
or you have a reason to be there. Like, that can be you have an excuse to be there.
The way to fix it is to explicitly say that there's a deadline and you will not be able to get this after the auction, and security is tightened before the auction because everyone's like, security guards are moving around doing sweeps.
And preferably the item isn't some random fuck household utility and is instead integral to the actual scene that's happening, where they have teams working around the place looking for the secret entrance, but they also have to take in consideration this item. Because as we will learn in the next episode, I think Eddie is very upset about something. So why don't we get into Season 1, Episode 8, Secrets and Scrolls, Flowers and Femme Fatales. I guess the guy really... Secrets and Scroll!
Okay, everyone comment down below how Liam said the same joke twice.
I know, it's awesome.
What do you mean, Ben? It was only funnier.
Very important detail at the start of this episode.
Wait. I have to ask real quick. I'm sorry, but how do you spell Vermilion's last name?
Raddock?
Is it Raddock or is it Raddick?
Raddock.
Is it Raddock?
Raddock, yeah.
Okay.
Like the root.
Sorry, the RWBY wiki isn't exactly
based.
It isn't exactly
reliable.
And all. Hey, now, yes.
The first thing of note in this development of this episode is that Eddie vocalizes that Chad will now be the only one who does the recap. Chad has officially been designated as the recap guy. And every other player goes, "Oh, thank God!" Because, wow,
so
that's how you
cringe. Come on.
Oh, I must have gotten ahead of myself, because apparently this is the time when Eddie refers to his villain as, quote, rolling in Bane style.
Oh, fucking kill yourself in Minecraft.
In Minecraft. So a big prevalent thing, we're still in the estate sale, and we will still be bouncing between scenes, and I will try and recount them. But once again, this episode is the most boring one possible. Because it is also hard to pay attention with how many cuts. It undermines every time there's like getting something done in a scene. There is a scene that Pike, no, I think it's Arostra first by herself, then Pike and Phoenix join, where they are just fucking around looking for this tunnel and just go in a room, and we will cut to them, do a roll, and cut away from them. And it happens like 4 times. And it is just, that is it. It is just like Asher's doing something, oh, we'll go see what Arostra's doing. Yeah, do a roll, you don't find it? I'll keep looking. Okay, we'll cut away. awesome use of your time. Glad we have to keep cutting back to this once in a while.
Honestly, pretty based.
Can I for the audience, ask what is the goal of each of our groups? So, of course, there's Asher, who's looking for the scroll. He's, sneaking in there from the outside, going like the third floor, doing stuff.
Yes.
What are the other groups doing?
Phoenix and Pike are going through those tunnelways they already found from the secret map, and they is looking for the secret tunnel into the mountains.
Yeah.
And Phoenix and Pike quickly realize that they don't have another job, so they're also going to do that. Arastra was the person on the ground floor. And this is where I'd like to bring up that I'm certain, because especially when we get to those three just fucking around in the room, literally going, there's a bookshelf, we're checking books for the secret book door. Embarrassing that is actually what happens. I just get this overwhelming feeling that Eddie is desperate for someone to have stayed in the actual auction room, because he keeps describing as them hearing that things are happening in the auction room. And things of interest.
Oh
and
my god.
He wanted someone to be there to establish Vermilion, the main antagonist, but Arastra was just like, I'm gonna look for the...
No, you're so right. You're so right.
And Eddie is just like, why is no one on the ground floor? The whole time. The whole time!
Well, Eddie, you didn't put any reason for anyone to be at the auction.
Exactly! I don't even fault the players for this. I think they're right. Why the fuck would they be there, Eddie? Yes, objectively, if I was in your game, I would probably be interested in the magic item. But like my actual soul, all the players are trying to ignore this plot point because they have their job to do. You have made conflicting things. And the players, for once, are taking this job seriously. Very strange. So we're going to try and address some things chronologically, but lots of them don't matter. So, first thing of notice, I'm sure Blake or maybe Ben or Lee, any of you can take this from me. I don't even want to acknowledge it much more than clarifying. Where Roster is trying to sneak upstairs to find Asher, who, one of Asher's jobs here was to bring in their weapons and plant them here, because they can't come through the front door with them. Which is a very fair thing to consider.
Alright.
So Arastra's duty was not just to sneak in and look for the scroll, but was also to bring their weapons up and put them in a drop point.
Alright.
You got this one?
Yeah, Ben, one of us should take it, because we haven't talked as much in a while. Do you want this, or should I do it and you take something else?
That's tough. I kind of want to take later on when the villain reveals thyself.
Okay, you can take that.
Because I really love that Eddie has... Never mind, just go ahead.
Okay. Let me take this. Okay.
Put his game face on.
Yeah, okay. So Roster, right, walks up and it's like, some guards here. And they're like, hey, what are you doing here? You're not supposed to. The auction's over there. I'm sorry, I was looking for the bathroom. Oh. Well, there's one over there in the first floor. Please use that, ma'am. Eddie speaks up. Hey, you can, offer them some food. Do you want, here is some food. Oh, nice, thank you. That's pretty good. You want nothing left? No! We rolled a 1!
Okay. Okay. So, what Blake is describing is that I want to point out, I love that Arastra paused, because she goes like, oh, well, I don't want to use the bathroom with the guests in it, because she's dressed up as
Noah,
what?
This was up to me to describe. You're once again stepping on my toes and talking too much.
Awesome, Blake. Anyway.
Well, you literally just start talking, and this is supposed to be me describing it.
Let baby have his...
Okay, Blake, you want to go for this scene? Yeah?
You finished choking?
Yeah.
Are you good? I thought you died from nuts.
No.
Okay, continue, buddy. You got this.
No, okay, so Arastra gives them some food, and they take the food, and then she goes on her way. And then she hears them call in, yeah, Jim died to the nuts. Something in them. Something in the food. Yeah, the food. I think it was nuts. This is suspicious. And, that's it.
Awesome.
Thank you.
Awesome.
Poetry.
I just needed to finish.
Okay, awesome. I find it amazing that when a roster says, like, I didn't want to use the same bathroom as a guest, like, someone unmutes and goes, damn, that's such a good point. Like, they immediately pat Laura on the back for having a thing to say at all.
Don't want to leave a stool sample.
You gotta
behind.
give some credit. She gave the bare minimum.
She gave the bare minimum, and that made them literally go poggies. She gave the bare minimum until she's, like, trying to come up with something, and Eddie's like, well, you could, like... Chad is, like, on the fucking microphone going, offer them a sandwich! Offer them a sandwich! And Eddie's like, dude, that's so funny. You can have advantage for that. Like, Laura's actions are being influenced by everyone besides herself. There's a point when the guy's choking. He's like, go get him some water. And like, oh, cool, she can sneak away now. But Arastro's just like, okay, I go get him water and bring it back. And I feel like Eddie pauses and is like, just has to then be like, oh, yeah, thanks. And you can then sneak off after they're distracted with the water. Like, he's like, no. Like, his face of like, no, you fucking idiot. You're supposed to sneak off after
Let him have it.
Which
You
is
can have
bizarre because Arastra is a psychopath.
Psychopath! Why would she help someone? What's her... What the fuck? Literally not in character.
I have a question. There's a thing to say.
Yeah.
So she gave him the sandwiches and then was told to roll persuasion. She had advantage and she rolled low on both.
Yeah.
And so Eddie's like, oh shit, she failed.
Was that? Yeah, how's she failed? Did she get caught?
She failed her persuasion check. So the guard's allergic to nuts in the sandwich and starting to choke. I'm not seeing a connection between the persuasion check
It's time to
and the
talk
result.
It's time to talk about it, bro.
Like, no, can I just say something about that real quick? I'm sorry. That is something that if Pike rolled his random chance semblance, that could happen.
Right,
That's
yeah, exactly.
fine. But this is literally, like, you failed a persuasion? I don't even... Why, Eddie?
You failing the persuasion put nuts in the sandwich.
Sidebar, what sandwich besides like a PB&J has nuts in it?
Nah, maybe it was PB&J's.
Yeah.
I guess.
You know,
All right, only the greatest for our guests. I can't.
It's the fucking peanut butter.
No, how many times have you catered or something, and they're like, "Oh, we would love some PB&J.
We would love some PB&J.
We would
a
love
little platter, cut away. I love these PB&J.
No, they're like the shitty ones from school. They're like the packaging. They're
like Ben, they're not even like they didn't even get the smooth peanut butter. They got fucking like not creamy peanut butter. Like what the?
Well,
fuck?
I love crunchy. You're out of your mind.
Okay, let's just move on before we get.
We gotta talk about this. Crunchy peanut butter is better, dude. You're out of your mind.
I like the idea that these are like Keebler ones, like the sandwich cracker one. or those.
Liam, you went
were
to
you
school,
thinking
right?
of Smuckers on Crunchy?
Listen, did you ever go to breakfast in the morning and they had the shitty peanut butters in the plastic?
Oh, this tasted like garbage.
Can I interest you in an uncrusted?
I don't think so.
What?
Sir, can I interest you in a Smucker's Uncrustable?
Yes! God!
Oh my god, this is so awful.
So,
How
only the finest for my guest, says the dead spirit of Terry Pastel. This is kind of a point I want to talk about now with skill checks. Is Eddie is clearly a player, a guy who does roll high on perception, object phases into reality. He is one of those peoples that just lets skill checks completely govern like the actual situation. And not only that, but there are many situations we're going to have, and we've had in this game, where he's doing skill checks. Say, for instance, back in the library for Rostra, it makes no sense that there's like a skill check that she could fail there, because there's no penalty for failing, unless you're being insanely cruel and saying, like, yeah, you failed your investigation roll, so you spent your entire day but came up with nothing. Or picking a lock when there's no immediate person about to bust in the door and shoot you. you should be able to do like taking 10s, or if you have so much time, the 20s. I think D20 systems or DMs in them that don't allow things like that when there's no immediate danger of failure make no sense. Someone looks around a room for a while, just because they roll one bad perception check, does that mean they'll literally never have the opportunity to find that passage in the room? No, if they have time on their hands, they can just go until they find it. Like, skill checks that fail with no reason that the failure would lock you out of success, like, oh, you break the lock, her. Like, holy fuck, dude. Like, not every skill check is a one-and-done failure. And there are times that I just find it amazing. Combining that with the idea of Eddie being this guy who's like, yeah, you fail the persuasion roll, peanut butter allergy. It's like the worst of both worlds. Yeah, sorry, that's just my own personal fucking vendetta.
I agree, I hate it.
Yeah.
And then just rolls governing reality unrelated to the roll is just weird.
Yeah, and with Eddie's, like, fucking, like, Tourette syndrome skill checking, like, where he just spits out a skill check every moment, it combines into this weird, bizarre, like, it kind of feels like an AI dungeon game or something, where, like, just random shit happens with a sudden prompt and just goes off the rails immediately, and you're like, okay, I don't know, man, like, what am I supposed to do? This doesn't feel congruous with reality. As things are happening now in the timeline, Phoenix and Pike meet up in the tunnels after, like, Pike looks for them and Phoenix is, like, assisted by fucking Surfer outside, and they hear the Alabasters here, like, screaming that there's, like, a security breach or something, and then another moment of Eddie being like, Kai, go ahead.
He found the imposter.
Imposter. Yeah, right. That was in reaction to like said one of the guards literally does. This wasn't a Blake like joke in his routine. One of the guards literally does go after the guy eats the allergic sandwich and gets more like, dude, Timothy's down, dude. He had a bad sandwich. Like that wasn't a joke. That's Eddie's epic joke, and Alabaster's just like,
so
what
funny.
the fuck? And Eddie once again is like, go ahead.
Did we skip out? I forgot. Did we talk about the scene of Phoenix and Pike giving him the flower?
That is after.
That hasn't happened yet. Don't worry. I've got the timeline here. Yet. That's my job. Don't worry, buddy. You'll be able to talk all about it. This is another moment where Eddie's like, guys, something cool is happening in the lower floors. And the only response is Carrie going, oh, yeah, people love auctioning anyway.
Hey. No, even later, this is just very minor. It's like Eddie says it gets weirdly quiet in the auction, and people are like, and they're like, huh, that's weird. Moving on.
Yeah, Eddie's like describing it as like something must have like happened. There's like a weird quiet, and like you think there was like a rumbling, and like weird. Okay, like it is. Lee, you hear like an explosion or something might have gone off, and silence from the other room. Yeah, I keep looking for the draft in the... Ooh, I know, I'll hold a piece of paper up in the air. Fuck! Why are these players like this? Okay, now, timeline-wise, Asher is going to Pastel's office. Who wants it? Ben, you said you wanted it earlier, right?
Yeah. Let me handle this. But I think this. While I will explain it, I think this needs to be a group discussion at the end of the day, because this is fucking really stupid and strange.
This is a scene that gets interrupted in the middle, so you can handle like the first.
On the third floor of the estate, right?
Very good of you to remember that.
Too now?
Oh yes, because this is a very. Trust me, nobody wants to be on the first floor, so there might as well just be teaching floors. Anyway,
the first floor is lava.
Asher is doing his D&D rogue sneaking, Eddie making him roll every 5 feet that he walks. And he finally gets into Pastel's office, right?
Meanwhile, Chad bitching like, I just had a good perception roll. Why do I have to roll another?
Then he goes into the office, right? And he's like, okay, we gotta find this. He's trying to complete the objective. He is here for the scroll the Taskmaster wants him to find. He is here to find
main quest.
This room is highlighted on his minimap.
Yeah,
it is.
The objective is in the room.
What are these gay side quests? I'm going to go see the Greybeards.
She's ripping the fucking desk open. He's like, oh, hidden compartment, Pog. And then he opens it. And then he goes, whoa, wait a minute. Then he hears a faint knock at the office door.
Oh, don't forget that he rolls a funny one, so his weapon's jammed in the drawer now.
Oh
awesome, Eddie. Awesome!
It does happen. Fuck.
I will give Eddie a little bit of credit. This isn't exactly what I meant before, where there's no, fail state. The idea of it being delayed in your action and someone's at the door makes sense. But to me, this reads more like he rolled a 1, so this materialized at the door. So I don't trust him enough.
Yeah, so, listen. Someone breaks a lock on the door, and it's Lavender from... Remember the girl who was like... She's like, ooh, Pike, you're looking good today.
I'm gonna suck your drill, Pike. Yeah!
Yeah, man. So, Asher is like, oh, fuck. So he, being a D&D rogue, I mean, what's he gonna go? Walk up there and talk to her? Fuck that! Weapon to your throat! You better tell me what the fuck you're doing here, bitch! He holds it sideways, he's going for the kill shot, but she's like, dude, please don't fucking kill me, I just want to talk. and Asher, not being a psychopath, is like, right. Oh, yeah. Wait, you actually kicked the door down, like broke the lock, so you are not.
Asher's like, I want to check her. Like, does she look like she's armed?
Yeah, he checks her purse for a shotgun. He finds a shotgun.
It's like, you're not a reporter, Lamau. I want to point out the way Eddie describes that he thinks she might be armed. He's like, I roll perception to see if she's armed. He's like, yeah, the way she's carrying the purse kind of thinks like she's hefting it like not a normal purse. Like there might be like a weapon in there. and just say he searched her and found it. Why are you like, why?
She looks a bit suspicious.
She looks a bit sussy.
She looks like she made it to the cornucopia and scored a weapon.
Okay, so should we keep talking about this? Because I do believe they cut away
immediately.
Yes, they cut away.
Here, I have my notes. Cut to Pike and Phoenix. Hearing auctioneer yield soul. Crowd cries out in disturbance. Players go, oh, cool. Continue on. Don't care. Another moment of Eddie begging these guys who are doubling up in a team for no reason, for one of them to be the floor man. Both of them go, that's gay. Go up to the second floor. First floor squad fully eliminated. Eddie's heart breaks. So he decides that he's going to punish them. And G-spawns Daff in front of them on the staircase.
Oh boy, Daft.
Oh boy,
our boy Daft. So...
Did we mention that Daff last time also mentioned he'd be a security guard here?
Yes, he did. But
once again, another time when they're just like, it spills out information in front of them.
I would like to proposition someone. I would like to take the role of Daft. Would anyone like to take the role of the players?
I want to be Phoenix.
No.
Liam, you're
yes, I don't remember this scene enough, but I'll try.
How do you not remember this scene?
I do. I think. Let's go.
I was laughing too hard at
it. You guys,
Daff.
What are you doing here? You're not allowed to be here. I'm gonna have to call this in.
Daff. I'm just being Phoenix in the scene. This is what happened.
Sorry, I forgot the. God, you're fucking funny now. Oh my god. Oh, hey, Daff.
What are you? I'm gonna have to call this in.
I got you a flower.
Daff.
Daff looks at the flower. I still have to call this in. You just rolled like a 2.
Come on.
No.
You're drinking a soda.
No, Phoenix says that.
Oh, I'm sorry. See, I don't remember the scene. You should have given me the Phoenix stuff.
Daff. No, Carrie. Here, I'll pick it up. Listen, Daff, I did some self-reflecting, and I really feel bad about, I was just panicking, and I felt bad that we didn't visit you in the hospital, and I just didn't know. So I just wanted to say I'm sorry, and please don't. I'm not going to tell you not to turn us in, but I just wanted to say I'm sorry about that. Here's this flower. My advantage rolled a 2. Look, I also take this Haven Gachapon thing. Can I have another advantage? Daff.
It's too late. That bond's been severed.
Phoenix feels heartbroken, but doesn't look it on the surface. Carrie doesn't respond. But Daff, you're also going to be in trouble. You have that funny cocktail shrimp.
Huh!
Alignment check.
Daff looks nervous.
Daff!
Damn it. I'm eating.
Daff! Carrie is out of his chair.
Phoenix.
Daff!
What do we do about this? I have to call you in, but... Okay. I'm gonna finish eating and then call you in.
Pike smiles. Daff! Pike walks away. Daff, make sure you chew slowly. It's safer that way.
Daff pauses for a moment, and as Phoenix is walking away, he can spy Daff tuck the flower into his shirt pocket.
We're never doing this gag again, but I like it.
William's
not reliable.
I'm sorry. Put me in a scene I remember. I apologize.
How did you forget this scene? The scene's amazing. Carrie is like pretending Pike's not a sociopath while coming off of it. Blake, I cannot tell you how happy I was when I had forgotten that he, like, after seeing that his advantage fails, he tries to, like, pull out another trinket to give him. It's like, here, have a Haven Academy gachapon. Did Taff say he's from Haven? I forget if that was his thing or Carrie's just fucking retarded.
Would he pull out the fucking shit? Oh wait, no, he gave both of them away, right? He only had the Haven one. Okay, yeah. So Eddie wasn't content with punishing them with just that, so immediately they walk away and then run into fucking, like, God, what's his fucking name?
Who?
The sheriff. Alabaster. They walk away from this into Alabaster. Don't they?
No. I don't think that happens.
No, I think that never happens.
Wait. No,
I had to get away then.
Think.
No, oh fuck, no, they
just heard Alabaster.
No, they heard Alabaster on the other side of the wall.
Don't they?
These guys hear Alabaster literally through a wall. Is what you're thinking. They're like, oh shit, and like hurry into a different room.
Yes,
you're right about that. Yeah, this entire scene is predicated on just Carrie fails an advantage persuasion check because Pike has negative charisma. Like, Daff is talking about, like, I told you it was you, get what you fucking doing here. Phoenix is, as I portrayed, just randomly going, Daff! And, like, Chris is doing a good job of Phoenix being like, Daff, I was worried about you. Like, trying to take the reins, and Carrie's, like, talking over him, doing this really awkward speech about how Pike's thought about this. And Pike's like, and Daff is just like, it's too late, man. We can't be shipped together. I can't handle this. It's, like, the most role-playing this game gets. And I love Phoenix just catching him in, like, a weird alignment check, being like, but you'd be in trouble as well, Daff. Can't you see we're the same? Like, that moment is so weird that that's what convinces it, only because
it's a Jedi mind trick. It is literally a Jedi mind trick. He pulls a Jedi mind trick on Daff, and it works. Just literally for basically no reason. Let's be honest.
I love that they ducks the flower back in, and Carrie's like, yes! As he cut away, Carrie, like, proclaims that.
How many Daff /
Pike fanfic comments are there?
Yeah. How many?
More than 0, definitely.
Oh, I'm sorry. More than 5 people had to watch this for that to happen.
That's right. We're at like 20 commentators now.
Fuck it, dude. That's 4 of us and 1 weirdo.
Yeah, so they just go to the library for Arastra because Arastra is in the library failing a skill roll and unable to proceed because Laura doesn't know what to do now. Some epic things in that room happen, like Carrie holds up a piece of paper, Phoenix licks his finger, because Eddie's like, yeah, there's a draft, there's a breeze coming in from the secret passage behind the bookshelf. I literally could not believe there was actually a secret passage behind a bookshelf. Like, is it a joke that it's like the obvious thing? I don't get it.
It's Poggy's because it's, like a secret bookshelf.
Yeah, so we're going to cut back to Asher, but first Eddie is going to say that they're hearing arguments stir downstairs. Something's getting heated in the auction room.
Yeah, cringe, Eddie. Yeah, okay.
Cringe! Don't care! No, we need 3 people in one room.
Boring.
Can I just say?
Yeah.
I do respect Eddie that he didn't just say, "Oh fuck it."
Lord,
A guard is like, "Hey, fuck you, go back to the auction site."
Yeah,
He didn't do that, which he probably should have, maybe.
It's very out of character for Eddie not to teleport a roster to a place he wants her to be. It's fair. I guess he really wanted her to find the fucking entrance to the bookshelf, and Carrie and Phoenix are too much to control for him. But you're right. It is a weird move. What'd you say?
They'll snap back at him.
They'll snap back. Yeah, they'll bite the hand.
Eddie, what the fuck?
The only reason I think is being allowed is because he's like, wait, I can punish them for this later. So yeah, back to the scene with Asher and Lavender, Ben, if you'd like to return to it.
Oh, please, allow me.
And then we'll have
after that really fucking weird scene, once again, Asher hears arguments stirring downstairs. Wonder what's going on down there. Something more interesting, I imagine. Anyway, Asher fucking decides to trust Lavender, who manages to unlock the drawer with the scroll, and he's like, "Here's your weapon back, retard." So Asher then goes, "Wait a second. I forget, does he roll to see if she's a Faunus?"
Yeah, he has to do a perception check. He's like, her fangs are a little short.
Why did I even ask? So he rolls, and she's like, "Oh, you got some little fangies, don't ya? Don't ya?"
He's like, "Okay."
And then you know what that means, guys? This actually has far-reaching implications, actually, because
all
Faunus criminals.
Oh, it does make me wonder if the implication is that. Well, we can cover this in the group scene.
Yes, because I'm just going to go to the funny part here.
Yeah.
This gets really weird. So Lavender takes the scroll and puts it in her purse, right?
Oh, wait, hold on. Remember in this exchange with the weapon and stuff, there is there's a stare down being like an exchange, and Asher's like trying to do like, okay, I want to like not have ammo in my weapon when I hand it over. Your ammo's like, what? Asher, what fucking ammo does your weapon use? I guess a dust cartridge, but still, he describes it weird, and he fails his sleight of hand because he can't roll well. He's a thief, haha. And like she's like doing something to her thing, and there's like all this weird shit with this stare down moment. It's really awkward, and like 14 rolls go off here.
Of course.
Asher like fails one. It's great. Awesome.
And she takes the scroll. Then she pulls up her own scroll and goes, "Hey, Syl, I got it.
I hate Team Smoke!"
And
I hate Team Smoke!
There is no Lavender, it's just Mina.
It's Mina from Team Smoke. From Team Smoke, the girl from Mask. And Eddie chimes in.
You will remember that one of them you didn't see the face of because she had a mask. Aren't I fucking clever, guys? I'm Eddie Revez.
Oh, but then he's like, oh, and then, you know, Chad's like, "Oh, is that so, Eddie? How about this? Solar flare!" So Asher uses solar flare and grabs a scroll and dashes out of the room like a fag. Nothing wrong with that.
Nothing wrong with that. I love in this description, Chad is getting very fucking aggro, where he's like, "I'm doing the blinding." And it's like, okay, I get it. And like, I'm gonna try and grab this thing. And Eddie's like, a strength roll. And Asher's like, "Oh, come on. What? Give me at least advantage. She's fucking blind." And he's like, "Okay, fine. You have advantage." He gets a low roll. And Chad is like staring at the fucking screen going, like, "Eddie, come on." And he's like, "Okay, you can get the scroll. You just don't get like her scroll." He's like, "Fine." Anyway, she tries to like web you. And Chad, you hear Chad go, And he's like, "Okay, fine. She's just you have advantage on the deck save to dodge the web." Like, it's like Chad has had Eddie give him like in this interaction. Mina like swiped both scrolls because Chad had taken her scroll during the purse thing, And like Chad is pissed because her sleight of hand beat his high perception roll. He rolled like a 19 or something and got a 21. So he's pissed off in this, and he is just bullying the shit out of Eddie, being like, "Eddie, fuck off! I am not getting fucked out of this."
The Virgin Eddie versus the Chad.
It's literally, it is so funny. So he just kicks the door down. No, sorry, Ben. You can continue. This is my favorite part. What he does to her. Do you not remember, Ben?
Oh, I'm sorry. I thought you were still going on. What?
No, my favorite thing is how Chad deals with Mina now. What is it? He fucking backhands her and slams her through the door into the hallway. He fucking.
Well, no. You must have misheard that, because that sounds a little too cool and RWBY. He must have done something stupid.
No, Eddie makes sure to say because of Aura she's not getting cussed, but she goes like flying in the hallway, alerting the guards. And Chad's like, fine, I just jumped through the fucking window. I don't care. Fuck you, Eddie. And now Eddie goes to
kind
like
of base.
Yeah, Chad is on peak. I fucking hate Eddie. I'm doing what I want.
Oh no, I can't remember, but I feel like he gets like this in season 2. I don't remember if it's right away.
Oh,
he gets at this point again, where he's like, "I'm tired of you, Eddie.
It's so awesome.
I'm tired of you fucking with me."
There's a running joke in this episode that we haven't mentioned yet.
Yeah.
And it happens to Chad the most.
Yes.
It's just like, oh, you go through the doorway and the alarm goes off. I'm just kidding, guys.
Eddie fucking loves that joke.
Eddie literally not only keeps doing it, but does keep repeating that. I love that joke. Not once, not twice, but like 3 times. He's like, I just love that joke so much. And everyone's like, yeah, awesome, Eddie. God, Liam, I had blocked that out because I found that fucking so annoying. Okay, so we need to talk about this fucking Asher. Oh, also, Asher regroups with them and is like, yo, got this, Team Smoke's here. Nemi and Phoenix is about to say something about the secret passage. He's like, I relay the smoke information first. He goes, points hand on, go, I hate Team Smoke. Anyway, the secret passage is in here. We have to continue. Like, it's this like weird fucking auto respawn set up for when Team Smoke is mentioned.
Must say hate Team Smoke.
Hate Team Smoke.
Hate
so I want to point
smoke.
out, let's analyze this interaction between Ash and this and Mina a little bit more. One note I find that I don't know if this is me reading into it too much. Should the implication be that Mina wears the mask to hide her faunish trait?
It's what the mask means.
It's what the mask is.
I actually, my theory is that she forgot her normal pills that day.
Thank
My
you.
question is, if she removed the mask, would it be painful?
Thank you. All right.
My question actually would be revised to be,
me.
why would you shoot a man before throwing him out of a plane?
I'm sorry I asked to do this. I'm fucking... So,
Actually, I have 2 DSs in there.
Cut to my face, pogging.
So, the entire point of going for the secret entrance in the manor was to evade the area that was being guarded by Team Smoke. So, in a brilliant move, Eddie has Team Smoke be in the manor to fuck them. I cannot sit, and I must stand and applaud the brilliant quantum ogre manipulation Eddie has performed, where no matter what way you try to approach the situation, Team Smoke is there. Even in the way where you're avoiding Team Smoke, they decide they're there to fuck Team not named up either. The entire excursion to the Pastel estate is fucking pointless, and in fact proves to be the wrong move, because if maybe Team Smoke wouldn't have been guarding the actual passage, they have wasted their entire week preparing for an aversion tactic that turned out to not matter. Thank you, Eddie. The players don't really pick up on how stupid this is because they're here for a D&D adventure and they're just going down the line. This is so dumb. I'm going into the jail to figure out something about Felix's backstory. I managed to... you go into the room, Nero is there, attacks you. I don't...
Whoa.
Don't.
Yeah?
No, never mind. Never
Yeah, that's what I thought.
mind. Never mind.
What the fuck?
Just sorry, viewers, but me and Blake just had a conversation over Discord.
I was gonna make a mean joke.
Well, you're gonna say the joke that fucking Yamabushi's there? Was that your joke, Blake?
No, I was gonna say, yeah, no, that's really cool. No one cares.
That's not mean at all, because I care. And Liam cares. Yeah, exactly.
Okay.
Jesus.
I fucking hate this part between Asher and Mina. It is the most interesting thing happening at the party, and it is just boring. Asher is a one-man band. 3 people are still in the room. It takes these 3 fuckers to figure out there's the secret passage in the room, while Asher's doing everything here. And, man, it just to still make this scene very fucking annoying. Like, I don't think there is a world where Eddie lets this scene not go the way it did, right? There's no way that Asher comes out of this with more than they would expect, not by the skin of his teeth. Every time, it is, you are just failing enough to make an escape. This is so fucking basic. This does not feel like there's any way for the scene to go but this way, and it's just frustrating to me.
Oh yeah, definitely.
Why? I don't know why Mina alerted herself to them either. Like, if you think about it, why the fuck did Mina approach Pike and alert them that they're here?
Because Team Smoke are awful.
What was the point of that? Why was she trying to... Why did Asher trust her, also? That was another epic moment, right? Am I to infer, perhaps, optimistically, that this is a sign of Asher's regressing to a previous time in his life when he also was one to trust a femme fatale? Is that what Chad's mind is? Or is Chad just fucking retarded? What do you guys think? Am I giving him too much credit? Okay, go ahead.
Eddie picked the name Lavender to trick the players into thinking it's Lisa Lavender,
actually
who would be a good person.
Yes.
But never giving the first name. So, when it's revealed later that it's not her, all the players were like, oh, it's Lisa Lavender. I can trust her out of character, meta-wise.
I think that's
making them more trustworthy.
I don't know. That's a great point, actually. Because I said there is no smart way to explain why he decided to have her called Lavender. But I guess you're right. That is a fair point. That might be what the fucking reason was. Is that Big Brain? Is that cool? Do we like? Do you guys like that?
It's a weird play if you're actually trying to metagame your players.
Yeah, right.
I don't know how I feel about that because it feels like such a specific thing that it doesn't feel right or wrong. It just feels like weird that it's even coming up.
It is the only reasonable explanation for the choices in naming her that. It makes me think she's retarded, though, because, that's her actual last name. Why would she identify herself as Lavender? If Team No Name were actually intelligent, they would have gotten the names of Team Smoke by now from someone in town and be like, Lavender, are you Mina? What the fuck? I'm gonna kill you. Once again, it goes back to Mina's a retard for actually using her last name. Not just coming up with a fake name for her pretend role as a fucking interviewer or reporter. What was she thinking?
I don't know, man. It's so weird, and I have to agree with Liam that I don't know. How do you guys feel about that? How do you guys feel about it being a meta thing? That seems so.
I think they deserve it. I think they deserve it.
I'm kind of lean that way too. I kind of lean that they kind of deserve it, but another part of me is I don't know.
Here's something.
That's so.
No, go ahead.
I don't know. I just feel like did he ever say oh, it's like Lavender, like Leisha Lavender. You know Leisha Lavender.
No.
Your characters would know. See,
no.
That's where I'm that's so fucked up.
Well, that goes back to my point of Eddie doesn't describe her enough with any like characterizing details besides maybe attractive or spindly at one point. So he gives no identifying features, so they can't prove that's not her unless they ask. And players never ask. Eddie never describes what characters look like well enough. Not only that, but as the time period states, they should know Lisa Lavender as a reporter. It's within 2 years of the main story of RWBY happening, so easily. Probably reasonable to assume Lisa's a reporter now. She didn't just start then. So they should know, if that is the idea, that they look at her and go, that's not Lisa Lavender. She has fucking black hair. It's not Lisa Lavender at all. I know what she looks like. She's a news reporter. But on this idea of it being a meta thing, to fuck with the players, I am of the opinion that dangling meta information over players can be useful. The way it's done here feels like, if that's the intent, the deceit is funny to me, and I think it's abusing bad players, and I think that's fine because it's trying to maybe teach them to actually ask things. I'd say it's dumb because Eddie doesn't like describe what she looks like to them who would assume it's Lisa. Go, that's not her. But as someone who likes to reveal meta information before players know it or in character, like say for instance, currently in Records of Remnant, you guys fucking know that Piper is a Coven member meta-wise. You've known it since like the start of Volume 2 when she first appeared in a cutaway, and now she's here in front of you. But she's not introduced as that. So it gives the players as we call in the business, a skill test of how they react around this character, to not allow themselves to use meta information to become suspicious of them for no reason, and to give you a fun meta rapport of being to set yourself up for something. So this was like a test of the opposite of that, of seeing if players abuse meta information.
Ben?
And under the assumption that Chad is trusting her because he assumes this is Lisa Lavender, and this is then proving him to be an idiot who is using meta information to inform his in-game decisions in a way that is only beneficial out of like a meta, like, you know, purely meta sense.
Ben, do you know Piper's a Coven member?
Thanks,
I don't know that character. Piper, what? Like Fall 4? Or?
Yeah, I stopped watching middle season 2.
Yeah, okay. So respond to your point. That can make sense, Noah. And I agree with you in that aspect. But
Ben's probably not doing it.
I don't think it's as intelligent as that right here.
Yeah. I don't think this is it at all. I think Liam's Fury is a cool one, but I wouldn't give Eddie that credit. Not at all. Holy shit. Yeah, anyone want to talk about the scene anymore? I feel like I've talked about it plenty.
No.
Awesome. Once again, as Asher reunites with the group, Eddie says there's a loud commotion and rumbling on the first floor of the estate.
I don't care.
They go, wow, that sounds weird. We better go in the tunnel quick then. Like, literally word for word. Like, shit, we better get in the tunnel then.
Yeah, we better go that even faster.
Oh, fuck, the Indiana Jones boulder's coming down. We put the phone. Let's get the fuck out of here.
Eddie fucking snaps. They enter a Tailspire map after going through a deep maze of hallways. And Eddie taps the mic and goes, I'd just like to say that Tailspire isn't really made for a game like this, so this doesn't look like what it actually does. It's actually very futuristic looking down here and like sci-fi. And I just hang my head because he literally is like, Tailspire is not good for this game, so this isn't what it looks like. Yeah, Eddie.
Why are you
using it?
Why do you use it, Eddie, if it's not good for the game?
Do I need to even go to the Tailspire rant? Like, it's Eddie says it. It looks like a fucking dungeon.
And to reaffirm what Noah just said, he doesn't say it quickly, being like, "Oh yeah, this isn't like exactly what I'm like trying to like show. It's more futuristic than this." It takes him like 5 fucking minutes to explain that. Yes, use your imagination. This isn't exactly what it looks like on the screen.
Yeah.
Yeah, this wooden door is actually a sliding technology.
Yeah, like stuff like that. These torches are lights on the walls. They're not here, actually. Like, it's like, Eddie, honey, please, you're killing me. Why?
Hey, bust out the graph paper, man. Come on.
Dude, we're not sponsored by Tailspire. I'm starting to not believe you. Anyway, so he describes this room that you come into as having like a bunch of like old fried like banks of computers. There's some are destroyed and like fried and stuff. There's like some that there's like one that looks like kind of works. He says there's claw marks on the wall which they identify as severe for like a roll. And Eddie and Carrie's the only one being like, "Why are Grimm down here?" And then it cuts and no one else says anything. So awesome. And there's blood on the floor. So awesome.
You spilled all the Kool-Aid.
Awesome. They don't really talk that much about it. They kind of don't really like
give a shit.
Yeah, weirdly. Like I would be like, okay, what the fuck actually happened in here? Like they have gone over the point where they're like, well, yeah, of course that makes sense. But I don't really understand why they wouldn't be fazed by that. I'd be like, what the fuck? Who got in here and what happened? Holy shit, Grimm got in here? Who did they kill? What happened here? But no.
Is it fresh? I don't know.
Yeah, they don't ask. Literally, I don't know. Let's investigate the computer. Rostra is handed the scroll and said, go forward. Asher hands her the scroll and goes, do it.
And she plays the Fallout hacking minigame and gets to the computer.
Yes.
She turns on all the turrets and kills everyone in the building.
She gets into the computer, and Eddie describes that he finds shipping logs. She unlocks a doorway, some doors and shit in there, and in there she finds these shipping logs. And Eddie says, "You find information on trades and like money that needs to be sent places." I find that Pastel was importing merchandise all across the world. A bunch of imports, just like a bunch of imports here. Like you've imported a lot of imports. He never says what kind of things he's been moving across Remnant. So, but like the vaguest but weird illusion where he's like, this is like a thing you should be worried about. But I'm not going to tell you why. I'm just saying he's importing. And it's like, Eddie, what the fuck do you mean? Why is this weird? He's a fucking wealthy merchant. Like
he's importing imports.
What merchandise, Eddie? I'm not going to say that. Pike Reich walks up to the computer.
Oh god, hold on. Can you let me describe this?
Yeah.
Pike Reich walks up to the computer, beeps and bloops it, computer explodes.
Literally what I have written down in my notes. Thank you. I had, haha, Pike funny one falls on computer and it fucking explodes. Pike rolls a 1, cuts in to ruin their investigation, rolls a 1, the computer shuts down and then explodes. And Carrie's like, and all the other players are quiet and there's a cut and we continue down the dungeon. I like to say as they're walking into a room, they're told there's a camera there. Asher tries to throw a glaive at it. He rolls only a 9 and gets the Eddie don't fuck me face. And so Eddie goes, actually, you managed to hit it. It's just a little less quick than you'd like. And
we should turn on our cams so I can just like look really angry whenever I'm doing combat just to hope that Noah gets scared and gives me things.
The final session will turn the cams on.
I hate when I roll bad in RWBY.
Yeah. I don't think you need.
Well, no, it's not like rolls. It's like, no, don't fucking make them responsive, gay way.
So yeah, Asher's just like, Chad's just getting pumped that he's not completely getting CBT'd for once in his life, and it still breaks the camera. And this entire section is them going through these rooms. Let me see. What's like interesting?
Some of the doors they don't have like the Doom red key card to get through.
Yeah, so they need to find another computer to get.
No, they're going up to every wall. They're making the Doom like grunting sound every time they click on it.
They're the little.
Where's that exit?
They're the little circular passages that mean they may find the morph ball somewhere here, so they can come back and go through those. Keep finding these cameras and shit. They're like seeing shit like room door labels. Phoenix, like, at one point tries to kick a metal door open, and they make fun of him for it. This is the part where I found, like, they're rolling so many perception rolls, they're just phasing things in and out of reality for failing or not. And the session ends, basically, on this note where they find this door, Phoenix kicks it, and there's, like, a thumping on the other side. And they're like, okay, what do we do? And people are, like, Rainbow Six squaring up at the sides of the door. Asher decides, like, okay, I'll do, like, a pattern to try and, like, show I'm human and see if they respond back. And they do. And so then the door opens up, and there's, like, I think it's, like, a actual, like, carved-out rock room, so maybe it does actually look like the fucking stupid dungeon. and there's like a bunch of guys that are aiming weapons at them, and Eddie's like, roll initiative, and they're like, yeah, fuck yeah. He's like, session over, and they're like, no! And why does Eddie roll initiative at the end of sessions, guys? Please stop.
I don't know.
No, I'll give him the first one. That's a classic mistake, sure.
Yeah,
whatever. But
yes.
twice?
Like, haven't you learned your lesson, old man?
Like, really?
And that would be the end of those two horrible episodes.
Oh, you're trying to like end things. I want to point something out.
What? No, I'm segueing into like talking overall on our experience watching the Grimm Campaign this week.
I know, I'm joking. I busted your balls.
These were awful episodes.
Yeah, and I'm not gonna take it. I'm gonna chad you.
Awesome. Yeah, these were pretty bad, and I want to point out to viewers, like, I hope these two weren't especially confusing on our descriptions of what's going on, but these are genuinely like how the episodes feel. Like, I'm relaying things, I'm using my own notes in the wiki to make sure I'm not forgetting details on things, like, because I want to bring you through these, but like, holy fuck, these have a lot of insignificant, weird scenes that are harshly edited through, so it just feels more confusing. And if you are going to be shocked to learn that episode 8 is the episode to the season finale.
The penultimate episode.
Yes, the penultimate episode. And the next finale is longer than most episodes. The finales in these are generally like 2 or like 1.5 times the length for normal episodes. But like this is a very poor lead into a finale. Like, it is a confusing point because it doesn't really feel like they've introduced enough of a significant reason for the next one to be the finale, in my opinion.
Yeah. This was painful. It was awful. I absolutely hated these episodes. Like, it is so much worse than I think we described. From Eddie just cutting to different people randomly. It is absolutely like... Yeah, God, it makes it such a slog to listen to. Because it just feels like every time your mind kind of wakes up to realize they're doing something, they cut away to something else and you fucking go back into a coma.
Yeah, right? Like, I have multiple points in my notes where I'm like, I blacked out for a bit. Go look at the wiki, make sure you didn't miss anything there. It's really weird because... slight spoilers... The season ends with some significant stuff happening to the city. And Eddie has these 2 episodes. One especially, episode 7, Heist and Holidays, was basically like a go-around town, talk with people episode. And he took all these opportunities to deny them the chance to gain affection and care for these characters and build them up more so they matter more by doing all that meta dialogue. And like, looking at this, knowing how this goes and what happens, I feel like that was such a failure because that is the season to lock in, like, who cares about what before things ramp up and there is more danger introduced to the city in this locale. Because Eddie is running a game that's focused on one place, so you should be really focusing on the people there and building this up, and you want them to matter by the end if you're going to put them in danger.
Like, they spent almost no fucking time here.
Yeah, we're literally at the last episode of the season, and our characters have no meaningful connections to any character.
Besides,
let alone each other.
Let alone each other.
Let alone each other.
We have gone through one minimal arc, which is like Asher and Phoenix reconciling Asher's initial mistreatment of him, and that's it. Pike has revealed his sociopathy. Arastra one point alludes to kind of caring about people, but in a very vague Laura way where she won't commit to being anything interesting at all, so it doesn't really feel like anything real or earned. It's so bizarre to think of this as like an episode that is building hype for the finale of the season. It comes out of fucking nowhere that's the last episode, basically even in the episode itself. I can't wait to describe next episode because if we hadn't told you now that it was the last episode, the first time we watched it, we didn't realize that. And it's basically right at the end that suddenly surprises you, like, dude, this is the finale. And it's bizarre.
Oh, God.
Eddie's cack-handing of introducing Vermilion here also really hurts the game in the long run, because he is very important. And if he had made a bigger presence here in the manor, and someone had actually been downstairs, I think it would have really helped. Team Smoke, being this unavoidable entity that still bothers them no matter what, continues their legacy of being astroturfed. Like, funny Coal Boy Taupe wasn't even given the opportunity to have another scene where he says something kind of funny and endears them. He was relegated to meta. And, yeah, these were really painful. Just roll perception, dude. I want to roll perception, dude. I want to roll perception.
Give me perception.
Oh, fucking Christ.
Alright, Jesus.
Yeah, anyone else want to say anything about these 2 episodes before we go to the last section before we wrap up?
It's just 2 episodes that are the setup and execution of what could have been a good idea, and it was just executed horribly in every single way.
Instead of being executed, it was executed by guillotine.
It's awful. I don't have much more to say.
Ben, anything?
Dude, this shit is so awful. The last 2 episodes were worse, but this was like... Dude, Eddie just can't stop making these guys roll for fucking touching anything. I walk up the stairs, roll balance. I literally look at Pike, roll perception. Like, fuck off, Eddie.
I show up to a hospital and want to go see someone roll perception.
He slows everything down so much. Like, imagine after all this horse shit, he goes, "We'll do it next time," and you unironically go, "Oh, but I want to keep playing." I guess, dude. Fuck off, you lying asses.
What? That's my favorite. They're over exaggerations at the end of like these.
Want to keep playing? Yeah, Chad, you really look like you want to keep playing.
Grit your fucking teeth.
Give me a fucking break.
All right.
But Noah.
Yes.
What did the fans think?
Thank you, Liam. Let's hear some comments. You get a level up, and you get a level up. Everyone gets a level up. Grimm better watch out. Even at level 1, this bunch were pretty effective against Grimm. At level 2, they'll be so much better if encounter scaling wasn't a thing. What a fucking swerve. Positive comments.
They weren't fucking effective against Grimm.
No, they're getting their fucking ass beat. I don't know what he's talking about. They fucking got destroyed.
Alright.
Carrie, where did you get that hat? The legend of the Pokemon hat has begun. I don't believe it's ever taken off now. This was a good one I liked. How much money do they have? How much does Dust cost? How much does a Gachapon cost? How much does a Takeo cost? They never mention Liang numbers!
Because no one fucking cares.
I'm glad they're not retarded enough to do that.
So why did you leave that comment, Noah?
It does touch on something that I obviously don't really keep track of it in Records of Remnant. But what I do try and keep track of is implied wealth. And there's no implied wealth in this show. Like, characters, I will say, like, it's going to cost a lot of money for something like that. Or I take in consideration explanations of, like, dust is supplied by schools and stuff right now. So when people are in situations where they need stuff, it's generally good to imply money matters. But they just don't really worry about that. That's fine, but I mean, I do think in some cases it'd be good to know like what we're working with.
Philo, we don't all have, the misses. Sometimes it pays to, sell yourself out.
Felix jams his katana into the desk drawer. Stuck!
Fuck!
Once
I'm
again.
gonna need an NPC to get this out for me! Witchy Ginger said, I just want to give Pike a big hug. He's not doing well. This is a person who's been tricked by a sociopath. Literally a Manson family member.
From ear to ear.
Ear to ear.
Molly
Flood.
Pizza.
Yeah. Molly Flood. Laura makes me laugh every time. Crying emoji, laughing emoji.
She makes me laugh too.
Yeah, I'm with you, Molly. Yep, nailed it. Oh yeah.
Awesome.
How Laura comments on episode 8? What she did nothing at episode 8.
She do.
No, she didn't do anything.
She fed the guy the peanut butter
sandwich. Just the sandwich. She didn't do anything funny in that scene. It was everyone else who was adding humor to it. Definitely not a trombone. I'm still confused by what Asher's weapon is. They keep calling it a glaive, but a glaive is a big 2-handed polearm, and the way he describes him using it doesn't make sense at all.
Thank you.
Thank you. Even the fans are noticing. Now, to make you hate the fans again. A is for awkward. Laura Yates is a queen!
Thank you. Thank you.
And now to get into the painful ones. StarCraft Squall. Do you feel that? Carrie. Regret over what I've tried doing to make people like me? I see your Volume 1 reference there. Pyrrha. Do you feel that? Jean. Soul-crushing regret? Also, Eddie. You get a perception check. You get a perception check. Everyone gets a perception check. And if Lisa Lavender is really a faunus, then I have a few questions. ... Eye emoji, eye emoji, eye emoji, eye emoji.
Oh my god.
This guy didn't pay attention at all.
No,
they
not
never
at all.
do.
But to be fair,
that was on episode 8.
I don't blame him that much.
That was on episode 8 also, so we know it's not Lisa Lavender. Candorian Wonder said, another awesome... This is episode 8. Another awesome episode, y'all. These low rolls were tragic. Laughing emoji. Asher could have taken out Lavender had he had her blinded. Asher could have killed her. He had her blinded. That's what I just said there, based.
What do you think, y'all?
If only the dice were on Team AAFP's, parentheses, the fan name that makes me think of old people's, side. Super interested in these people behind the door. I'm betting on minors or others trapped by the Grimm. Also, the changes y'all made with the name banners is perfection. Hopefully this isn't the last we see of Daff, and hopefully that pocket tuck Daffodil changed his tune. If only Yule could have gotten them high rolls, laughing face. I feel like at this point, Pike needs to burn some orange semblance at this point to fix his lies, winking face. Kidding aside, Eddie, you big brain boy. This is a masterpiece you've put together, and I love watching these awesome 4 break it, laughing face. Your mischievous smile of knowledge makes all their decisions thrice as entertaining. He's literally talking about Eddie's foolish grin makes us more entertaining.
Okay, can I take a second to just...
No, we're not done yet, I'm sorry.
No, I want to respond specifically to that one. What the fuck,
okay,
Noah?
Fine.
Like, what's the point of having these comments if we can't respond to them?
I said fine, don't be a bitch, go!
God, okay, what I'm gonna say is... I read comments like this, or like the ones on Tech King's One Piece game, and I
call out post,
and I guess I just see like how much people are into absolute dog shit mediocrity, and how much they praise people for literally doing less than like the bare minimum of like, holy shit, that guy can talk as a character. Oh my god! And it's just like, I'm not trying to say I'm some fucking savant, but like, holy shit, I feel like the only fucking thing that hurts us is the fact that we don't have exposure.
Like, comment and subscribe.
Please, like, comment, and subscribe, and share this around, because like, if these fucking
hacks.
If these
literally walking up and going, the children at the orphanage need your money.
If these fucking people legitimately see Eddie doing this and like masterful storytelling, then like
please buy my Girl Scout cookies.
Then holy shit!
Attention, all RWBY gamers.
Then holy shit! They are going to be fucking destroyed by the fact that Noah can talk as
your credit card down below.
That Noah can talk as at least 3 characters.
Nah, I think my game's a little too long.
Yeah, but you know, we cannot.
Yeah, I've always wondered if people think my game's too long. Or One Piece. I always wonder if that's a barrier to entry for our game.
Yeah, I will just say yes, it is. But
probably.
I know you don't want to hear that, but unironically, it is.
Yeah,
having something be too long is.
We could probably cut them up. Honestly, people would watch it.
we need like every what?
Every hour I need a cliffhanger.
No. Every 20 episodes, make a funny highlight reel episode.
Ooh, that's a good idea. Thanks for reading this long post. Can't wait to see what's next. Please play more. You know it's like best free hours of your Monday, like the little taco commercial girl said. Why not 2? Just take out the law before dose. P-face.
Wow, I want to die.
Now you see why I was so excited to get to the end of that.
Yeah, I agree.
Yeah, no, I mean, I watch things like this get successful, and I go, I'm glad my game's even better than that. It makes me happy. I don't know. This game is particularly egregious. I'll never not be pissed off at this game specifically because it's made by a guy who works on the writing team of RWBY, and he just clearly is uncomfortable with his own setting, and that he doesn't have a pure love of it that can overcome his anxiety of playing a role-playing game that he's uncomfortable with at times. He can't just fully commit to making things fully committed to bigger ideas or really get into it or and role play and feel motivated to play these characters and stuff. He has to make them funny surfer man, Uber driver voice or something. Yeah, if that's what he enjoys, I guess, sure. But man, it's just really, you can do so much more for a role-playing game than something this fucking
it being
basic.
made by the creators of the actual RWBY is why it's so egregious. If this was just made by just fucking people, imagine we made something and it was this shitty. One, I hope not. But 2, we wouldn't really ever be shit talking it like this because it wouldn't be in it. We wouldn't watch it. It wouldn't be fucking funny enough.
Punching up is very funny.
There is, yeah. It's more fun to punch you up, and also it's just so much more funny because these are people with a level of authority on this setting.
Yeah. I ranted about it in one of the episodes about why do they have such a poor job at naming things and figuring out creative ideas for the setting and stuff. How is it so basic? And I just don't know. I don't know. We get to these episodes and Eddie is still not sure how to run his game, so he just defaults to trying to make it a TV show with all these fast cuts and shit. I know it's his first time DMing, but I'll always go back. Still fucking paid product. It's still fucking terrible, and I still have so much to say about it. Even on awful episodes like this that are very boring, at least there's a lot we can point at and go, wow, that's a new fucking thing they decided to do that's awful. So yeah, I mean, if just a friendly reminder, hope you like listening to this show. If you ever feel motivated to buy it, to listen along, don't.
Yeah, don't.
Don't. Please, save your money. A Rooster Teeth Plus subscription is not worth it. They do not have any content behind a paywall that I think is very worth the price of entry.
Yeah, it's awful, and it's not like fucking RWBY is even coming out right now.
Yeah. Next, if you're ever committed to getting those RWBY volume episodes a week early, you're I guess I'll do a Plus subscription for a bit. Dip your toes in this, but I promise you will not want to continue because this shit drags. Holy shit. I'd like to say here, if there's ever anything you guys in the comments or something you want to comment on or talk about, I would include a review of the actual comment section probably at some point in the wrap up for house cleaning stuff. I really appreciate reading some of those comments. I like seeing you guys actually talk about some of the things we're talking about in these episodes. And I think with Supernova Safari, there's a lot of stuff we can do. And I would like to also extend, if you ever somehow stumble upon anything that you think would be good content for Supernova Safari, because as we said, this show is a review show. We'll continue on to other topics in the future. So if anyone has anything they've stumbled upon and want to send it our way, please feel free to comment. Or I believe we have a email address you can send stuff to that way too. I believe it's just recordsofremnant@gmail.com.
I'll put it in the description down below.
Thank you. That'd be great.
But you want to
let us know your favorite funny moments from the episode.
But
Does anyone have a question of the week for the viewers?
I
you
got
miss me?
one.
Oh, really, Ben?
Oh no, I
You
kind of like
miss
that.
me.
I kind of like that one. I kind of like Do You Miss Liam?
That's based.
I kind of like Do You Miss
Positive
Liam?
answers only.
Yeah, Blake will
He will be
delete.
deleting.
Liam will make Blake delete any negative answers, guys. So be careful.
No negative Nancy's.
No negative Nancy's. Oh man.
This first
All right.
first comment by Richard. No.
No, based.
But yeah. Like Noah said, please, we read every comment. Comment down below if you have anything to say about the show, Records of Remnant, anything like that, anything you want us to talk about, or other such things. Ben, why don't you do the spiel as you said you do it from now on?
I did not say that.
You said that last week.
I lied.
Do it!
What?
Fucking do it!
I don't know all the spiel, dude.
What the fuck? What do you mean you
Like,
don't
comment,
know?
and
You
subscribe.
didn't tell me there was an ad
Supernova.
read.
If you
Go
enjoyed-
to youtube.com/Rayon to check out Blake's game.
Yeah.
That's in the description. It better be Blake or I'll kill you.
It's always
Hell
in the
yeah.
fucking description.
It's good, I promise. The good players show up like 5 episodes in.
Whoa. Whoa, that's now snap. That's going in my cringe folder.
Snap back to reality.
Question of the week, everyone. What? I'm aborting that one. Holy fuck!
All right, actually, I got something to say to these.
Did you actually have one? I thought you were kidding.
No, listen.
What a train wreck ending.
Do you miss Liam and or is it White Boy Summer?
I fucking
Yes or
hate
no?
you, Ben. We'll see you guys next time.
Yeah, okay, see you
On
next
the next
time.
episode of the Safari. Stay safe and keep your hands inside the vehicle.
Ooh, I'm a jungle monkey.
Grab yourself a seat and keep those hands in the vehicle at all times. You're about to be taken on a ride through the untamed wilds of internet role-playing. Observe them in their natural habitat.
So you head out.
You know,
So
that would be
you-
funny. I didn't know there'd be consequences.
Enjoy the splendor of their spurgery.
Felix, who is the lion fauna,
And feast your eyes upon the questionable creations of internet randoms.
Actually, I've never DM'd before.
This is the Supernova Safari.